Chapter 1241. Lin Fei was probably the only person who dared to say such a thing to the vice sect master. Duanyun's celestial emperor was a very arrogant person. In a place like Great Metropolis World, Duanyun's celestial emperor thought that there was no one who could compete with him. Even if there was, they would be young elites or even geniuses from other worlds. Who would have thought that a country bumpkin would dare to kill deputy sect leader Fei Yan in front of him? Although he was his dog, he was the first one to get close. Duanyun's celestial emperor was really unhappy. "You are really bold." Duanyun's celestial emperor's eyes flashed fiercely. "I, as a sect leader, have underestimated a hero. You dared to kill someone in front of heaven-reaching sect. Amazing, really amazing." Perhaps only the Duanyun Immortal Emperor alone knew what this meant. The elders of the three great sects had been killed earlier. Although everyone was shocked that Skycracking Sect's deputy sect leader had been killed, their strong hearts had already accepted Demon Lin's brutality. As expected, he was a brutal fellow. Everyone knew that Fei Yan, Celestial Emperor, was a dog of Sky-reaching sect. Even if he was a dog, no one present dared to kill him in front of him. Demon Lin had done it. More importantly, he had casually beaten him into a dough twist. This kind of method, this kind of power, they knew that they could not do it. "Qing Emperor, you have lost." The Flower Emperor smiled. "You are so good. You managed to predict all of this." Qing King's face fell. The impossible had actually happened. Lin Fei had really attacked. Fei Yan, Celestial Emperor, Skycracking Sect's deputy sect leader, had been beaten into a dough twist. Any Celestial Emperor's body was really strong. Under the heavenly Tao lightning, their bodies would improve greatly. There was a huge difference between a Celestial Emperor's body and a normal celestial body. Qing Emperor knew that it wouldn't be hard to kill Fei Yan, Celestial Emperor. A second step, Celestial Emperor had the ability to crush. It was so clean and decisive. Qing Emperor knew that he couldn't beat someone into a dough twist on the spot. To beat a celestial body into a dough twist required fierce and domineering power. It's not that I calculated it. It's that Lin Fei himself is such a person. The Flower Emperor said, "Think back to the inheritance grounds. Fellow Taoist Lin was being chased by the Immortal Emperor. From the start to the end, Zhang Xian had never thought of surrendering. It was no surprise that something like this would happen. The Tongtian Gate would never have thought that someone would dare to make a move on them. Let them eat a shriveled-up one." Qing King had to admit that Lin Fei was stronger than him. Back then he might have had this mentality, but now it was gone forever. Lin Fei's heart stirred slightly. The quality of the people that come from the great sects is indeed different. I beat him up like a fried dough twist on the spot. If he can recognize me as his master, he won't make a move. He's not easy to deal with. The sect of transcendence was a powerful force, a hegemon in the myriad worlds. Lin Fei was fearful. If there was a suitable reason, he could kill all of them without worrying about what the Tongtian Gate would say. Unfortunately, the Duanyun Immortal Emperor did not make a move. "Thank you for your praise. I'm a very bold person when I make a move. I'll kill any Tom, Dick, or Harry," Lin Fei said seriously. "You and I are both geniuses. We are both young and have high positions. How about we spar? I have always wanted to know the gap between us." Lin Fei did not intend to let the Crack Sky sect have it easy. "Let's fight first." The Duanyun Immortal Emperor's eyes flashed with displeasure again. A bumpkin was a bumpkin. He dared to spar with him? He kept putting gold on his face. This was the first time he had met such a person. Coming from the Tongtian Gate, the Duanyun Immortal Emperor always remembered that he was a high and mighty figure. He was a second-step Immortal Emperor at such a young age, a heaven-defying Immortal Emperor. He was not someone a bumpkin like Lin Fei could compare to. This violent maniac. Only a country bumpkin would look at the sky from the bottom of a well, unable to differentiate good from bad. Elder Ming, Elder Fong, Go down and spar with Dinlin. Don't embarrass the cracked sky sect." The Duanyun Immortal Emperor was unmoved. Yes, the two elders were the only remaining hidden cultivation elders. Their expressions could not help but change slightly. Even though they could not predict Lin Fei's strength, they knew that he was a terrifying opponent. The Duanyun Immortal Emperor was from the Tong Tian Gate. Even if they were not fated, they could not reject him. "Daoist Lin, you killed the vice sect leader. We have to fight. Once the two of us attack, you can only surrender." The two hidden elders were peak first step immortal emperors. Their auras soared into the sky. They shouted, and their Tao of sacred powers swept over. Their first attack was to kill. They had to win. Even a nobody dares to make a move. Lin Fei casually glanced at them and walked up just like that. The attacks of the great Tao of mystical powers rained down on Lin Fei's body like a torrential storm. A layer of obscure, flowing light flashed across his body. Whoosh, a water-like sword swept across the two peak first step immortal emperors. In the sky, there were two more heads, the heads of the heaven-cracking sect's hidden elders. So weak, Lin Fei smiled. It's better for sect leader Duanyun to do it himself. This time, the Duanyun Immortal Emperor's expression turned ugly. Two secluded elders had been killed with a single sword strike. This person was simply not putting the heaven-span gate in his eyes. The Duanyun Immortal Emperor did want to let the hidden elders test Lin Fei's strength. When he beat the vice sect leader up, he paid more attention to Lin Fei. In the blink of an eye, the two hidden elders died. This was a slap in the face. They were indeed weak. Damn it, there is no reliable person in the heaven-cracking sect. Hidden elders? Their strength is like dog shit. No wonder they haven't shown it yet. The Duanyun Immortal Emperor cursed in his heart. The two hidden cultivator elders died with their eyes wide open. They were both famous experts. Back then, when they became famous, Lin Fei was still unknown in some corner. Unfortunately, they did not know how terrifying Lin Fei's strength was. The difference was too big. It was normal to be killed instantly. It seems like we came to the right place. The Flower Emperor's eyes lit up. Daoist Lin must have obtained some benefits in the inheritance ground. This sword attack is filled with ferocious power. It relies on strength to completely crush the opponent. What a domineering sword! The Qing Emperor and the Flower Emperor had advanced to the second step Immortal Emperor not long ago. Killing two hidden cultivation elders in one move was not something he could do for the time being. Lin Fei did it. They had to admit that Lin Fei was more amazing than them. It was true that there would always be someone stronger than you, and there would always be someone stronger than you out there. A heaven-defying genius was indeed terrifying. He had the power to kill experts above his level. The stronger Lin Fei was, the happier they were. The premise was that he could survive. It was obvious that Lin Fei was provoking the Tong Tian Gate disciples. He might even kill them here. Sect leader Duanyun, you don't dare. Lin Fei stared at the Duanyun Immortal Emperor. I will kill two of your immortal emperors with one sword. Let's see how long you can endure. Dinlin, you are indeed amazing. You are just a country bumpkin, and I didn't put you in my eyes. But now I feel that I need to change this view. The Duanyun Immortal Emperor said, You are very suitable to be my follower because you are qualified. The Duanyun Immortal Emperor took a step forward, then another 2 steps. After 3 steps, his aura soared into the sky and crushed over. This was the aura of a second step Immortal Emperor. Ordinary Immortal Emperors would be suppressed and unable to move. It was indeed shocking for a heaven-defying Immortal Emperor to say that he wanted to be a follower. Follower. It wasn't casual. It required a certain amount of talent. Many Immortal Emperors would only be able to be servants and would not be able to become followers. Your aura is good to scare people, but it is still too weak to deal with me. Lin Fei laughed and charged forward. I feel that a disciple of a big sect like you is qualified to be my follower, even if it's just SOSO. He grabbed with his 5 fingers, and a monstrous vortex appeared. It shrouded Duanyun Immortal Emperor, and the crushing aura tore a hole on the spot. Such a fierce power only shrouded Duanyun Immortal Emperor. The elders surrounding Duanyun were also enveloped. They instantly felt the needles landing on their bodies. Their powerful bodies began to distort, scaring them so much that they immediately fled. They glanced at each other in dismay. That grab almost caused them to die under the hands of their opponent. It was truly terrifying. Lin Fei, this child, was also frighteningly ferocious. In a short period of time, everything that Lin Fei had done had made them regard Lin Fei as a great devil. At this time, Lin Fei's demonic aura was monstrous. If it wasn't for the Duanyun Immortal Emperor, they would have run away immediately. An invincible guy. 5 mountains, sword mountains. The Duanyun Immortal Emperor realized that this Lin Fei was a strong enemy. He attacked with a powerful secret mystique. The 5 sword mountains turned into 5 sword rivers and surged over. The sharpness of the metal made everyone realize that this was a terrifying mystique, a mystique that was cultivated with metal. Dang, 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 the 5 sword rivers cut on Lin Fei's 5 fingers. Suddenly, it was like metal colliding with metal. Brilliant sparks flew. But Lin Fei was unscathed as he blocked the cutting power. Satisfying, really satisfying. The 5 mountain sword mountains failed in its first attack. It gathered momentum again, and its power increased again. Everyone could only see rays of light in front of them. Get lost. Lin Fei clenched his hand into a fist. Suddenly, he flicked one of his fingers at one of the sword rivers. The sword rivers surged and roiled as they were repelled. Then he flicked his second finger at a second sword river, sending it flying hundreds of millions of miles away. It even sliced off a 30,000-meter tall mountain. The divine power had truly reached the great success stage and became an ancient divine power. Lin Fei could already use absolute power to suppress any power. As an expert of the Tongtian sect, there was no doubt about Duanyun Immortal Emperor's strength. The 5 mountain sword mountains mystique could even kill a second-step Immortal Emperor. A powerful mystique or secret technique could affect one's strength. The Duanyun Immortal Emperor, who came from the Tongtian sect, had powerful mystiques and secret techniques. Naturally, it was not an exaggeration. When he used a great mystique, the mystique of an immortal emperor was above all the other immortal emperors. Seeing that his mystique couldn't do anything to one hand, the Duanyun Immortal Emperor thought, "This guy's physical body is so strong. No wonder he is so arrogant. He has the capital to be arrogant." Chapter 1242. Above the academy, 2 silhouettes moved up and down so fast that their figures couldn't be seen. Only some powerful immortal emperors could barely see their figures moving. For ordinary immortals, they could only see 2 terrifying auras exploding. Bang, bang, bang. Large swathes of the void exploded. Saint 33 immediately activated the grand formation. The void exploded into pieces, but the terrifying auras couldn't affect anything in the academy. As soon as the grand formation of the mountain gate was activated, many people realized that the formation was extraordinary. The power of the 2 heaven-defying geniuses was perfectly blocked outside. The range was compressed in the void. Otherwise, with the strength of the 2, the aftermath was enough to raise the academy to the ground. In the void, the power spread out like waves, and everywhere it passed, the void was torn apart. In the void, Lin Fei was like a great demon. A 3-legged black cauldron spun and pressed down. The void was obliterated into nothingness. This was an ancient emperor's divine weapon, and it had terrifying suppressive power. With this suppression, the void of billions of li instantly caved in and shattered with a bang. Such a terrifying power. But Lin Fei's body only shook a little, and he perfectly withstood it. His 2 hands slapped upwards, and the terrifying three-legged cauldron was slapped away. Sect Master Duan, your strength isn't enough. After slapping away the three-legged cauldron, Lin Fei punched the air. The punch was like a meteor, and it landed on Duan Yun's chest. A bright light exploded, and Duan Yun spurted out a mouthful of blood. True self, world-destroying seal. He raised his hand again, and Lin Fei's terrifying seal pressed down on the spot. Freak, what a freak! How can his divine power be so terrifying? It's more terrifying than any divine power cultivator I've ever seen. Every punch and kick has reached the level of breaking through with brute force. This kind of thing shouldn't exist. Duan Yun's immortal armor was uneven, full of fist marks. Blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. He summoned the three-legged cauldron to block in front of him, and the ancient divine weapon caved in. You're no match for me. Lin Fei's clothes fluttered, and another seal came down. Duan Yun put away the three-legged cauldron, and his heart ached. The terrifying power almost destroyed the divine weapon. Not necessarily. The Duan Yun Immortal Emperor opened his mouth and spat out a black bead. It was the size of a fist, and it spun rapidly, dissipating the power of the seal. You can perfectly reduce my attack power. Lin Fei strode over, his 6 arms smashing down on the black pearl. Every time his palms landed on the pearl, his attacks would be nullified. Country bumpkin, you are the strongest person I have ever seen. Unfortunately, you don't know that there are many good things in the myriad worlds. Duan Yun Immortal Emperor laughed. As long as I control the speed, you will always surpass me. This was Duan Yun Immortal Emperor's trump card. He could kill a heaven-defying second-step Immortal Emperor and a third-step Immortal Emperor, but he was helpless against Lin Fei. There is no need to mention how sullen Immortal Emperor Duan Yun felt. Lin Fei's strength was limitless. No matter what kind of attack it was, he could break it with a single blow. Duan Yun Immortal Emperor's power was very strong, but he still could not suppress Lin Fei. He had no choice but to use his most powerful treasure, which was an emperor's divine weapon given to him by his master. This bead really has some tricks up its sleeve. Lin Fei was not surprised. After all, he came from the heaven-connecting sect and was a heaven-defying immortal emperor. It was normal for him to have a life-saving treasure. Isn't it just a broken bead? I think you need to use your immortal power to activate it. Let's see how long you can activate it. Lin Fei laughed and rushed over again. His attacks were like a storm, punching and kicking. Duan Yun Immortal Emperor was drowned in the storm, unable to escape. The black bead spun very fast, and Duan Yun Immortal Emperor's expression changed. His immortal power was consumed like water. 10%, 20%, 30%, the black bead was a good thing, but it could not withstand Lin Fei's violent attacks. Duan Yun Immortal Emperor's immortal power was constantly consumed, and he realized that he had overlooked an important problem. His opponent was Lin Fei, a devil from the great metropolis heaven. Relying on this treasure, Duan Yun Immortal Emperor could usually counterattack, relying on his tyrannical power to reverse the situation. Unfortunately, Duan Yun Immortal Emperor met a terrifying opponent who could not be viewed with the eyes of an ordinary person. The power to counterattack was disintegrated. Using 3 secret techniques consecutively, he still could not suppress Lin Fei, and Duan Yun Immortal Emperor finally panicked. Great metropolis heaven actually has a genius that is more powerful than me. Bang! 6 rainbow lights slapped on the black bead. The black bead's speed slowed down, and it seemed to be powerless. A part of its power blasted on Duan Yun Immortal Emperor. You lost! The opportunity flashed by. Lin Fei attacked with his sword. It was a fast and ruthless sword. With a slash, Duan Yun Immortal Emperor's head flew into the sky with a bloody light. His body disintegrated, and the black bead also stopped. Come here! Lin Fei reached out and grabbed, and the black bead landed in his hand. He threw it into the heaven and earth furnace, suppressing it. You win. The head flew out, and a body reassembled. Duanyun, Immortal Emperor, was revived. Lin Fei's sword swept across the sky and landed on Duanyun, Immortal Emperor's neck. With just a thought, Duanyun, Immortal Emperor would face death for the second time. As expected, Lin Fei replied with a smile. Duanyun, Immortal Emperor, lost. His celestial power was exhausted and he was powerless. He was killed by Lin Fei with one slash, and he accepted his loss wholeheartedly. I admit that you are stronger than me. If I had enough celestial power, it would be impossible for you to defeat me so easily. Lin Fei said in his heart, I didn't even use my full power. I only used 60% of it. Hee, you lost anyway. Lin Fei said, This is the truth. You better let me go. It will be good for you. Duanyun, Immortal Emperor, said, Otherwise my master will arrange for other disciples to come. At that time, you will be in endless trouble. At this moment, Duanyun, Immortal Emperor, was very calm. Kill you? Lin Fei shook his head. Wrong. Why would I kill you? I am a good person. Fighting and killing is not suitable. I have my ways to deal with people like you. Lin Fei unceremoniously took away Duanyun, Immortal Emperor's treasures. As for Duanyun, Immortal Emperor's gaze, he completely ignored it. After taking away most of the treasures, Lin Fei was satisfied. The three-legged cauldron and the black bead were also unceremoniously taken for himself. This was what a loser deserved. Now you can leave. He lost all his treasures, elixirs, and miraculous medicines. Duanyun, Immortal Emperor, only had one immortal armor left on him. It was tattered and almost scrapped. He was in a very bad situation. You are ruthless, Duanyun, Immortal Emperor, said harshly. At this moment, he was not Lin Fei's opponent at all. I really hope that you will come again, next time. Lin Fei laughed. If I were you, I would leave immediately. Otherwise, if we encounter danger later, it's possible that we'll be eaten alive. You have guts. Next time, I will definitely make you pay. Chapter 1243. Lin Fei is a devil, deliberately tricking people. Immortal Emperor Duanyun turned around and left, cursing in his heart. How could he do such a thing? With one sentence from Lin Fei, Immortal Emperor Duanyun knew that he was in danger. This was not the territory of the Through Heaven sect, but the great heaven world, an inconspicuous, small world. He was wounded, his vitality was greatly damaged, and his treasures were gone. He could not prevent someone from ambushing him in the dark. This was the reason why he left. Immortal Emperor Duanyun came from the Through Heaven sect. He was quite famous, and he was a second step heaven-defying immortal emperor. With such an opportunity, it was hard to guarantee that someone would secretly kill a heaven-defying immortal emperor. It was worth it to pay a price. Moreover, Immortal Emperor Duanyun had turned into a toothless tiger. Although he looked fierce, he was easy to deal with. You don't want your things? Seeing Immortal Emperor Duanyun leave, Lin Fei did not stop him. He shouted at his back. Immortal Emperor Duanyun, who was leaving, almost vomited blood. This was intentional. Just as expected, there was a commotion in the square. Lin Fei descended from the void and closed the array of the sect. He heard the sound of something breaking through the air. Hee, not killing you doesn't mean that others won't kill you. A heaven-defying immortal emperor. Lin Fei did not need to know whether that guy was dead or not. Anyway, he knew that it was not easy to return to the Through Heaven sect. He would have to fight a big battle, and his vitality would be greatly damaged. He would not come to find trouble with him for a while. Senior brother, continue. Lin Fei walked out unscathed. Everyone looked at each other in dismay. Even the heaven-defying immortal emperor of the Through Heaven sect could not do anything to Demon Lin. If they had any doubts before, the battle just now made them know how terrifying Demon Lin was. It was easy for him to destroy the forces in their hands. Among the 10 major sects, except for the 4 major sects, the other sects had complicated expressions. Many of them looked at Immortal Emperor Wumu. This guy had good means. He knew that Demon Lin was extraordinary and had a certain relationship with him. They no longer doubted the death of the leader of the Through Heaven sect. This must be Demon Lin's doing. Immortal Emperor Duan Yin from the Heaven Connecting sect was a heaven-defying immortal emperor who was more than 10 times stronger than them. In the end, he still suffered a crushing defeat and left without saying anything. Of course, whether or not they could return was still a question. Should I properly improve my relationship with Lin Fei? This was the only thought in the sect leader's mind. Once Lin Fei got excited, their sect wouldn't have a good time. They were immortal emperors, but in front of Lin Fei, they were nothing. He could kill them with just a flick of his finger. In the following ceremony, they worked extra hard. If they didn't work hard now, when would they leave a good impression? As for those forces that had come, they had truly broadened their horizons today. It wasn't that they hadn't seen domineering people before, but they had never seen someone as domineering as Demon Lin. In the 6 major sects, Immortal Emperor Witchwood saw this and sneered at their actions. Opportunists! What's the use of sucking up to us now? I have good taste. Ha ha ha! After the Tong Tian Gate, no one else came to disturb him. Lin Fei successfully became the new dean. All the major sects came to congratulate him, saying that he was young and promising, and all kinds of polite words were thrown at Lin Fei. Lin Fei could only laugh at this. This was a world where the strong were respected. Without strength, people wouldn't even bother to look at him. Sect leaders, if there's nothing else, why don't you stay and have a good gathering? I have something to discuss with all of you. After the ceremony, Lin Fei found the 6 sect leaders and said that he wanted to have a gathering. Everyone's expression changed slightly. They didn't know what this demon Lin Fei was going to do. No problem. Immortal Emperor Witchwood was the first to say, "What a bootlicker." The other sect leaders looked at him in disdain. "It's rare for us to come here, and it's Dean Lin who invited us. How would we dare to not accept?" Yes, there's nothing going on in the sect. None of the sect leaders would reject an invitation. Lin Fei nodded. "Tonight, I will invite all of you to a banquet on Invincible Peak. I hope that everyone will come on time." Definitely. Definitely, definitely. At this moment, Lin Fei's words were already very intimidating. "Fellow Taoist Lin, you are so impressive. The 10 great sect leaders of the great sky world are all so scared of you that they don't even dare to breathe loudly." The Flower Emperor smiled brightly as he walked towards Lin Fei. "Of course not." Lin Fei chuckled. "They are just giving me face. I wonder why fellow Taoist Hua is looking for me?" "Nothing. Can I look for you?" The Flower Emperor said plaintively. Lin Fei said indifferently, "If fellow Taoist Hua has nothing to do, I will go and greet everyone." "Not saying? I'll leave." Lin Fei was very clear that this woman, the Flower Emperor, was not an ordinary woman. Back then, she had already passed the second Emperor tribulation and become a second-step immortal emperor. Her strength was even stronger, so she definitely wouldn't rashly come knocking on his door. "Then I won't disturb you." The Flower Emperor did not say anything. He smiled and turned to leave. "I'll look for you another day." She left just like that. Lin Fei was slightly startled. He had still underestimated this woman. Humph, humph. Another day is another day. I'm not afraid of what tricks you play. Lin Fei retracted his gaze and chuckled. "You've been defeated." As soon as the Flower Emperor left, the Qing Emperor mocked the Flower Emperor. "What do you think?" The Flower Emperor asked. "Why don't you give it a try?" "No rush, no rush." The Qing Emperor shook his head. "In any case, we are all working for others, so there's no rush." "Me too," the Flower Emperor said coldly. In today's battle, Lin Fei's power has reached a large extent. Today, he left behind those 6 sect leaders. Maybe something big will happen. You should plan what to do next. The Flower Emperor flew through the air. Looking back at the Holy Heavens Academy, he sighed softly. This Lin Fei's growth is really fast. Soon, he will be the #1 person in the great sky world. I have to report this matter as soon as possible. The Qing Emperor thought, if Tong Tian Sect's immortal Emperor Duanyin can suppress Lin Fei, then everything will be fine. Who would have thought that Lin Fei is so strong? Tong Tian Sect became a stepping stone. Things have become troublesome. That woman is right. The great sky world is about to change. Shaking his head, the Qing Emperor also left. After the Flower Emperor and the Qing Emperor left, many immortal emperors took the initiative to congratulate him. Lin Fei was still very polite to the immortal emperors. He greeted them with a smile. Today's ceremony was livelier than expected. Immortal Emperor Duanyin of the Tong Tian sect had suffered a crushing defeat, which made Lin Fei stand out. None of the forces, big or small, were unconvinced. Every force came to express their goodwill. After greeting the immortal emperors, Lin Fei handed the remaining matters to Saint 33, asking him to arrange it personally. Saint 33 was very familiar with this. He found someone to arrange it. Even though today's battle had given the sky-piercing gate a slap in the face, Saint 33 was still very excited. This was especially true for the Sixth Sect masters. In the past, they had always looked down on him from above. They had never humbled themselves to cater to him. Junior brother, you're really amazing. You scared them with one sentence. This feels good. The lively day passed quickly. Soon night fell. The battle in the day immediately spread throughout the great sky world, causing a huge uproar. If the previous rumors of the land of inheritance were doubtful, then today's battle was real. No one dared to doubt it. Those forces that did not go were all panicking. The people of the top 10 sects could be killed easily, let alone these sections. Now all the sects were anxious. They personally brought congratulatory gifts to the Holy Heavens Academy. No matter what, they had to show off. As a result, the entrance of the Holy Heavens Academy was very lively. On the Invincible Peak, a few sect leaders came together. Leave. They had never thought of leaving. As soon as they landed on the Invincible Peak, they felt that the Invincible Peak was extraordinary. It was a real paradise. The effects of cultivating here were unimaginable. Everyone, welcome to my humble abode. Lin Fei came out to welcome them. The 6 sect leaders were shocked, but they were still very happy. At least, Lin Fei did not arrange for an immortal emperor to welcome them. At least he knew his place. Lin Fei smiled and led them in. In a courtyard, he asked them to sit down. Actually, I've been wanting to chat with all of you for a long time. Since we're finally free tonight, let's have a drink together. Lin Fei sat down and picked up his wine cup as he spoke. The 6 sect leaders picked up their wine cups immediately. Even though the banquet was filled with celestial wine and celestial fruits, they were not here to eat, so none of them were calm. Not long ago, they did not take Lin Fei seriously. As long as they mobilized their forces, it would be easy to suppress Lin Fei. They believed that they had the ability. No matter how strong a person was, how strong could he be? In the blink of an eye, they were splashed with cold water. Lin Fei used his strength to tell them that the sect was nothing in front of him. Even powerful immortal emperors were defeated by Lin Fei. If they were not mistaken, the 4 sect leaders were killed by Lin Fei. If they were alone, they would not be a match for him. Unless they left the Greater Heaven Realm, their lives would be in danger as long as they were in the Greater Heaven Realm. Dean Lin, we were disrespectful at the last banquet. Let us toast you. One of the sect leaders, Immortal Emperor Kuan-Ling, picked up his wine cup and took a sip. There was nothing wrong with apologizing. Everyone could see what the situation was like. Immortal Emperor Kuan-Ling was the first to lower his head. The other immortal emperors did not dare to disdain Immortal Emperor Kuan-Ling for lowering his head so quickly. Previously, they had discussed that they should at least put on airs in front of Lin Fei. In the blink of an eye, their battle line was broken. Lin Fei chuckled. These sect leaders were quite smart and knew what to do. Everyone drank a cup. Actually, you don't have to be like this. I, Lin Fei, am very easy to talk to. Easy to talk to? Was that possible? Everyone cursed silently. Lin Fei was a violent maniac. Once he made a move, he would beat people to death. Chapter 1244. Everyone was restless. Lin Fei gave them too much pressure. One look, one action, it was unprecedentedly terrifying. If they could, they would never want to face Lin Fei, let alone attend the banquet tonight. Who knew what Lin Fei wanted to do? If he killed them, it would be a big loss. Among the 6 sect leaders, Immortal Wu Xian was the only one who could sit still. He had no enmity with Lin Fei, so he would not cause trouble for him, right? Immortal Wu Mu was delighted. If he had known, he would not have done it in the first place. Of course, Lin Fei did not care about what they thought. He picked up a glass of wine and looked at everyone with a smile. Everyone felt goosebumps. If it was any other time, they would have glared at him and stood up. The purpose of inviting everyone here tonight is actually very simple. It is to discuss one thing. I believe it will be beneficial for everyone. Lin Fei took a sip of the celestial brew and said faintly, "Although our great metropolis world is not famous, the battle of the boundary lord will begin soon. My original intention is to let someone from our great metropolis world be the boundary lord. What do you all think?" What was Lin Fei thinking? They could not figure out Lin Fei's thoughts. Dean Lin, you are right. The position of boundary lord is ours to begin with. Immortal Wu Mu said. Immortal Emperor Kuenling also said, "That makes sense." "That's right. Yes." Lin Fei said again, "The battle of the boundary lord is destined to be a bloody battle. Because of this, we, the big sects, should be united. We call the shots in our territory." Everyone could only go along with Lin Fei's words. Subconsciously, they caught a few hints and seemed to understand what Lin Fei was saying. "I plan to completely clean up our great metropolis world." Lin Fei threw out a bomb with a smile. For example, to clean up some sects that betray us, so that the great metropolis world will not be in a mess in the future. What do you all think? So soon, the 6 sect leaders sucked in a mouthful of cold air as they understood Lin Fei's intention. This was to clean up some united people. Those who were not united were naturally the Black Heaven sect and the other sections. This emperor is the first to agree with Dean Lin. The battle of the realm lords should be fought by the people of our world. It's quite necessary to clean up the sects that aren't united. Immortal Emperor Wu Mu said in a deep voice. Moreover, after eliminating the unstable existences, we can unify the great metropolis world. The other sect masters looked at Immortal Emperor Wu Mu in disdain again. Aren't you a little too fast to have sided with Lin Fei so quickly? No matter what, you're still one of the 10 great sect leaders. Disagree? They knew very well that Lin Fei was taking advantage of the situation to get rid of Black Heaven sect and the others. As long as they didn't agree, it would soon be their turn. If Lin Fei acted alone, it would set off a huge wave in the great metropolis heaven. People would think that he was too domineering and would easily arouse the disgust of the masses. But once they all joined in, Lin Fei's actions would be justified. He wanted to drag them down with him. What a good method! Lin Fei was very satisfied with Immortal Emperor Wu Mu's words. What do you think? He was making his stand. There are indeed some unstable existences in our great metropolis world. We should unite and eliminate them all at once to maintain the stability of the great metropolis world. Immortal Emperor Kuenling wiped the cold sweat off his forehead. Once there was a stand, there would be a second stand. The rest did not dare to hesitate. Apart from the sky-cracking sect, the other 3 sects would be completely removed from the great metropolis world. In the future, there would only be the 6 sects left in the great metropolis world. They had to agree, even if they didn't agree. To avoid trouble, why don't we all go back now and prepare to depart tomorrow morning? Lin Fei finished the celestial brew in one gulp and put down the cup. I believe no one has any objections, right? Objections? Who would have any objections? Of course, the only thing they did not expect was that Lin Fei could not wait to act. The 6 sect leaders swore a heavenly Tao oath that they would not dare to spread the news. Husband, you're planning to act against them so soon. A beautiful woman walked in from outside. Their sect leaders died in my hands, and I slaughtered all their elders during the day. Now that we've become enemies, why don't we get rid of them all at once? Lin Fei smiled. Moreover, they're not good people. If we don't drag them down with us, they might stab us in the back. Husband, are you worried that the experts from the other worlds would occupy these sects and obtain the slots to enter? Is that why you want to destroy them first? Lin Jiqing laughed lightly. That's right. You're the best. I'm indeed worried about this. Lin Fei did not hide it. Anyone who wants to participate in the great metropolis world has to be from the great metropolis world. Therefore, I want to control the great metropolis world and try to control the number of people to prevent unnecessary things from happening in the future. Lin Fei had thought about this for a long time. It was finally time to carry it out. He would first eliminate the 3 sects and leave the sky-cracking sect for the time being. Other than that, Lin Fei did not plan to let go of the old fogies cultivating in the great metropolis world. He wanted to eliminate every single one of them and make them a powerful force for the Divine Heaven Institute. Lin Fei wanted to build his own team. Everyone, are you all ready? Nightfall. On the peak of a mountain, Lin Fei stood with his hands behind his back. The 6 sect leaders appeared one after another with their people. They were all elders. The weakest among them was a half-step immortal emperor. Apart from them, they were all first-step immortal emperors. Facing Lin Fei's threat, the 6 sect leaders brought their strongest elders. There were a total of 70 to 80 people. The overall strength of the great metropolis world is still too weak. Looking at the 70 to 80 experts, Lin Fei shook his head. The great metropolis world was really a rural place. Any major faction could easily eliminate these factions. It was more than enough to deal with the 3 sects. Let's go to the Black Heavens sect now. I'll break the Mountain Gate formation. As for the rest, I'll leave it to you guys. Just take out all the higher-ups in one fell swoop. It's best if you don't let any of them escape. I'm sure everyone can do that. Lin Fei did not care whether they agreed or not. He took out a document and showed it to everyone. It was filled with the names of the higher-ups and elders of the 3 sections. We can do it. Facing Lin Fei's gaze, they nodded. No one could stop the destruction of the 3 sections. Lin Fei said, "That's great. You guys can distribute the disciples below the higher-ups. I don't want any of them. As for the herb mountains and fields, you guys can distribute them. I want 2/3 of the sect's treasury. You guys can distribute the rest." They would not reject such benefits. Their eyes lit up. At least, Lin Fei did not take all the benefits for himself. Chapter 1245. Black Heaven Sect. This was one of the top 10 sects in the great metropolis heaven. At this moment, the atmosphere inside was very depressing and gloomy. The news from the day came back very quickly. At first, no one believed it. So what if Demon Lin was strong? Would he really dare to kill someone? The news that came back after that made their jaws drop. The entire sect was shrouded in dark clouds. Demon Lin really made his move. Not only did he attack the Black Heaven sect, but he also attacked the elders of the other 2 sects, causing them to perish on the spot in the Divine Heaven Academy. This was something they could not imagine. After that, the new sect master of the Sky-Cracking Gate, Immortal Emperor Duanyun, a heaven-defying immortal emperor of the Sky-Piercing Gate, suffered a crushing defeat at the hands of Demon Lin and left in a sorry state. There were even rumors that Immortal Emperor Duanyun was ambushed on his way back and almost died outside. When this news came out, everyone was restless. "Sect leader, what do we do now? Many elders were gathered in the palace. All of them were the higher-ups of the Black Heaven sect. The one who was addressed as sect master was the vice sect master. Initially, the Black Heaven sect had a main sect master and 2 vice sect masters. After the immortal emperor of the Black Heaven sect fell, White Heaven sect lost another sect master, leaving only the vice sect master. 9 Heaven's immortal emperor had an ugly expression on his face. Demon Lin was extremely daring and killed the people from the 10 great sects on the spot. The 9 Heaven's celestial emperor didn't have the courage to question him and annihilate the Holy Heaven Academy. He was afraid that if he went there, he would definitely die in the Holy Heaven Academy. Everyone calmed down. The 9 Heaven's celestial emperor said solemnly, Demon Lin killed our Black Heaven sect's vice sect master on the spot. The Black Heaven sect's sect master must have died in his hands. We must take revenge for this. This celestial emperor has already decided to join forces with the other sects to deal with Demon Lin. After that, we will uproot the Divine Heaven Academy and remove it from the great metropolis world. Avenge the leader of the mysterious martial school. Kill Demon Lin. All the elders were enraged. This was the only solution the 9 Heavens immortal emperor could think of. Boom, boom, boom. Suddenly the palace shook. Everyone was swaying, almost unable to stand. Not good. Someone is breaking the formation. The 9 Heavens immortal emperor cursed inwardly. He had already appeared outside the palace. One by one, figures flew out from the Black Heaven sect. Ripples appeared on the mountain gates, Grand Formation. It's Demon Lin. Outside the Mountain Gate Formation, Lin Fei had transformed into a giant and was attacking the Mountain Gate Formation. With every punch, the Mountain Gate Formation would ripple. The people from the 6 great sects are here too. This is bad. The Black Heaven sect elders' expression changed as well. With just Demon Lin, they thought that with the Mountain Gate Formation, he wouldn't be able to break through. Now that the 6 sects were all out, the situation was totally different. Demon Lin, what do you want? The 9 Heavens immortal emperor said sternly, You people from the Black Heaven sect don't know what's good for you. I'm here to remove your name today. Lin Fei laughed and punched the Mountain Gate Formation again. The entire Mountain Gate Formation was on the verge of collapse. Everyone, head to the formation and activate it. We can't let Demon Lin charge in. 9 Heavens, Celestial Emperor, said hurriedly. He landed in the formation and controlled it to try to stabilize it. Too strong. Back then, more than 10 Celestial Emperors couldn't even shake Black Heaven sect's Mountain Gate Formation. I didn't expect Demon Lin to be so strong. Not long from now, the Mountain Gate Formation will be broken. The 6 sect leaders and the Celestial Emperor elders behind them looked at one another. Lin Fei's strength was more terrifying than they had imagined. They had never seen a person with strength that could shake Black Heaven sect's Mountain Gate Formation. This key was used to deal with their sect. Cold sweat broke out on their foreheads. They still had to help out later. Initially, they had planned to go easy on him, but it seemed like that was impossible. Lin Fei, this fellow, was truly terrifying when he became savage. Walala! Walala, the Mountain Gate Formation rippled like waves and gradually couldn't hold on any longer. 9 Heavens' Celestial Emperor was shocked by Demon Lin's strength. No wonder the elders who went during the day died in his hands. If this continued, the Mountain Gate Formation would be destroyed. Pung! Finally, a crack appeared in the formation of the Mountain Gate. The fierce force caused the Mountain Gate Formation to not be able to repair in time. Lin Fei broke a hole and rushed into the array formation. Activate the internal array formation and kill Demon Lin. 9 Heavens, Celestial Emperor, couldn't care less. He informed everyone to activate the array formation within the Mountain Gate Formation and kill Demon Lin. He had reason to believe that as long as Demon Lin was killed, the 6 sect leaders outside would definitely not attack again. Boom, boom, boom. Once Lin Fei entered, the array formation attacked. It was enough to kill an celestial emperor. Black Heaven Sect's Mountain Gate formation is indeed terrifying. It can barely block a third-step celestial emperor. Lin Fei walked in the array formation and allowed the attacks to land on him. They were quickly disintegrated by the runes and did not cause any damage. Die. In one of the array formation's eyes, Lin Fei punched through the air and broke through countless layers of space, killing a half-step celestial emperor inside. Although the Mountain Gate formation was amazing, Lin Fei did not think much of it and directly broke it with force. We can't block it anymore. He's a demon. Inside the Mountain Gate formation, the elders died one after another. Lin Fei was like a demon, rampaging in the Mountain Gate formation and killing everyone. Blood flowed like a river, and no one could withstand the power of his punch. Break. Lin Fei stepped on the center of the array formation, and a terrifying ancient power spread out. Boom, boom, boom. The powerful Mountain Gate formation collapsed at that moment. Cough, cough, cough. 9 Heavens, celestial emperor who was in the center, was sent flying by the terrifying power. His eyes were filled with disbelief as he watched the huge Mountain Gate formation being broken. The Mountain Gate formation left by our ancestor has been broken, just like that. Kill. As soon as the Mountain Gate formation was broken, 70 to 80 powerful cultivators outside rushed in. 9 Heavens, celestial emperor. After tonight, the Black Heaven sect will cease to exist. Lin Fei strode forward and grabbed the 9 Heavens, celestial emperor by the neck and lifted him up. If you guys did not go against me, everyone would be fine. Unfortunately, you can only blame yourselves for being too confident. No, Lin Fei grabbed lightly, and the 9 Heavens celestial emperor was crushed into a pile of minced meat. The difference in power between the two was too great, and it was a one-sided battle. An hour later, the upper echelon elders of the Black Heaven sect were all killed. As for the disciples, when they saw the elders killed and the deputy sect leader dead, they knew that the situation was hopeless, so they surrendered and spared their lives. The 6 sect leaders and the elders behind them sighed. The huge Black Heaven sect was destroyed in less than an hour, and all the upper echelon elders were killed. From then on, the Black Heaven sect no longer existed in the great metropolis realm. When they saw the Black Heaven sect disciples, as well as the herbs and immortal beasts left behind, they were relieved. Especially when they saw the black figure, Lin Fei, they no longer had any thoughts. Who asked you to offend Lin Fei? Leave a few immortal emperors to guard the place. The rest follow me. Lin Fei was not worried that they would be greedy, so he led them to immortal Emperor Ming Xian's sect. The 3 sects had to be dealt with before daybreak. That night was destined to be a sleepless one. First, it was Black Heaven sect, then the other 2 sections. They were all removed from the great metropolis realm, and now the 3 sects no longer existed in the great metropolis realm. When Lin Fei attacked, even though the 2 sects had many experts, they weren't enough for him to kill. The upper echelon elders were easy to deal with, and the disciples all chose to surrender. As for the fanatics, no one would hold back. They were destroyed one by one. When dawn arrived, the 3 sects were removed from the list. This news spread right away. The entire great metropolis realm was in an uproar. Demon Lin was indeed Demon Lin. The day before, he came to ruin their plans, and at night he brought people to take revenge, wiping out the 3 sections. After the 6 sects were involved, they all knew that. After losing their sect leader and some elders, the 3 sects became toothless tigers. It was no wonder that they would attack. Even they were tempted. The 3 sects were wiped out, and all the factions, big and small, shut their doors and ordered their disciples not to go out. They didn't want to be involved in such a huge matter. Lin Fei, I wanted to ally with the 3 sects, but he beat me to it and wiped them all out. Cough, 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 in a secret room. Duanyun's celestial emperor's face was ashen white, and he spat out a mouthful of blood. After hearing the news, he spat out another mouthful of blood. During the battle at Holy Heaven Academy, Duanyun's celestial emperor was heavily injured, and his treasures and top celestial pills were stolen. Along the way, he was ambushed by the enemy, and he fought bravely, barely keeping his life. Duanyun, celestial emperor, had already cursed all 18 generations of Lin Fei's ancestors. Killing with a borrowed knife was done to perfection, and he was nearly finished. Before Duanyun's celestial emperor could recover, Lin Fei made a huge move, wiping out the 3 sects in one go, and even pulling the 6th sects in. In the eyes of outsiders, it wasn't Lin Fei who did it alone. Duanyun's celestial emperor was clear that this was definitely Lin Fei's doing. This person was unbelievably cruel. Sect leader, then what should we do now? Just open the mountain gate formation. Duanyun's celestial emperor said, no matter how bold Lin Fei is, he wouldn't dare to attack us. But even so, the elder was still panicking. Duanyun's celestial emperor sent the elder away. I still underestimated Lin Fei's means, and his strength is also slightly higher than mine. Looks like I have to inform Master, and ask him to arrange a few senior and junior brothers to come over, or else I can't do it alone. In great metropolis world, some rogue celestial emperors also heard the news. Apart from shock, there was more shock. After a few days, another piece of news came out. A piece of news targeted at Rogue, celestial emperor. The current dean of Holy Heaven Academy, Lin Fei, sent out a message, inviting Rogue, celestial emperor, to be a guest. This made many people feel incredulous. Was Demon Lin planning to attack Rogue, celestial emperor? Rogue, celestial emperor circle was also filled with shock and anger, because Lin Fei gave them a deadline of 1 month, after which he would take the initiative to be a guest. This was clearly not taking them seriously. This made Rogue, celestial emperor, lose face. Chapter 1246. Great Metropolis Heaven. On a black swamp. On the black swamp, corpses were everywhere. There was no lack of skeletons that were tens of thousands of yards long. After a long time, they gave off a terrifying aura. This swamp had a very impressive name, Swamp of Death. Back then, this place was once an ancient battlefield. It was said to be an ancient battlefield, but there were no treasures left behind. Apart from endless skeletons, there were rumors that the treasures were taken away. There were also rumors that the ancient battlefield was actually a small battlefield back then. Whether it was true or false, no one knew for now. On this swamp, a powerful immortal emperor lived, and he made the Swamp of Death his territory. Outsiders would die if they stepped in. On this day, on the Swamp of Death, 3 powerful auras descended. On the swamp, giant beasts of death grew their black heads out from the rotting mud and tried to capture their prey in the sky. Light exploded, and the heads of the giant beasts of death exploded. Fresh blood flowed everywhere. Old ghost, if you don't want all your beasts to die, put them away quickly. A hoarse voice reverberated throughout the Swamp of Death. The beasts of death crawled back into the Swamp of Death. Peace returned to the Swamp of Death. How arrogant! The beasts returned, and bubbles popped up from the Swamp of Death. A gray-robed elder with an ice-cold body came out from the Swamp of Death. He stood on the Swamp of Death and looked at them coldly. Old Ghost Yudu, an old friend is here, but you don't have to pull a long face. This gray-robed elder's Tao title was Yudu Devil Emperor. He was the master of the Swamp of Death. If you have something to say, then say it. If not, then scram. I have no time to accompany you, Yudu Devil Emperor said coldly, even though that person was a friend of many years. Old Ghost, you are still the same. No wonder you can't come out from the Swamp of Death alone. The person opposite him was a black-robed elder with thick brows and big eyes. His Tao title was Devil Emperor Chu Feng. The 2 behind him were also Devil Emperors. Their reputations weren't as great as Yudu Devil Emperors. They could be said to be their seniors. Old Ghost, I'm actually here to tell you something, in case you lose your life carelessly. Devil Emperor Chu Feng said, "Do you know that the 3 big sects have been wiped out?" That brat from the Holy Heaven Academy let out some ruthless words, asking us seniors to be his guests. Otherwise, he will personally pay a visit and have a talk with us. If that's all, you can leave now. Yudu Devil Emperor said, "If Lin Fei really comes to find us, in this swamp of death, I'm the heaven. Even if he's a dragon, he has to lie down. This old ghost, his temper is still so bad." Devil Emperor Chu Feng shook his head. "Humph, you don't know how to appreciate my kindness. Don't blame me for not reminding you when you are in trouble in the future. Let's go." The 3 silhouettes broke through the sky and left. "Humph, humph, Devil Emperor Chu Feng. You want to pull me into your group? Nice try." Yudu Devil Emperor sneered. "Isn't it just a Lin Fei? He's not even a world lord. Does he really think he's the #1 person in the great metropolis heavens? It's fine if he doesn't come. But if he does, I'll definitely make that brat suffer the consequences." Gulp, 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 peace returned to the swamp. "Brother Chu, what do we do now?" Devil Emperor Chu Feng waved his hand. "No matter. There are many rogue immortal emperors and devil emperors in the great metropolis heavens. If Lin Fei wants to take the lead, he has to ask us first. Originally, old Ghost Yudu was willing to come out, which greatly increased our power. Now, it looks like we should find other immortal emperors and devil emperors. We have to stop Lin Fei." Ever since the news of Lin Fei inviting immortal emperors and devil emperors to be guests spread, the entire great metropolis heavens was in shock. The 3 big sects were wiped out, and a large amount of wealth was divided. Lin Fei came with great momentum, so many people didn't dare to doubt Lin Fei's words. However, his words were like a huge wave among the rogue immortal emperors. They didn't care about the affairs of the world and focused on cultivating to prepare for the tribulation. Now that a rising star had said that he wanted them to be guests, how could the immortal emperors and devil emperors sit still? Devil Emperor Chu Feng was one of them. At the same time, Devil Emperor Chu Feng was one of the good friends of Black Heaven Sect's Immortal Emperor Xian sect. He had gone out to purchase materials a few days ago and didn't know about this. When he returned, there was a huge change. Therefore, Devil Emperor Chu Feng gathered a few like-minded people to make Lin Fei feel better. Didn't Lin Fei want everyone to be guests? Let's see who will go in a month. Let's see what he'll do then. If he really dares to make a move on the immortal emperors and devil emperors, it'll be interesting. Devil Emperor Chu Feng's eyes flashed with ruthlessness. After the 3 big sects were wiped out, Holy Heaven Academy would have to be curried favor again. This was no longer something that Lin Fei needed to worry about. After releasing the news, Lin Fei first found a time to break open the black bead and kill the Tao imprint in it. He refined it completely, turning it into an ownerless object, and handed it to Saint 33. Lin Fei really didn't care for such a defensive treasure. After knowing its effects, Saint 33 couldn't bear to part with it. It was a peak-grade immortal artifact that was personally refined by a few almighty beings. With this peak-grade immortal artifact, Saint 33's combat power had increased significantly. After that, Lin Fei divided the wealth. He ate the meat, while the others drank the soup. Everyone was happy and let out all kinds of rumors to smear the 3 big sections. Lin Fei was very happy. At the very least, they had done something good. The sky-cracking gate didn't move, which surprised Lin Fei. Duanyun Immortal Emperor wasn't an idiot. He knew how to endure. The more it was like this, the more unhappy Lin Fei was. For the time being, he could still make a move and let him be free for a period of time. Outside, Lin Fei waited for the immortal emperors and devil emperors to come to visit. As time passed, there wasn't much time left in the month. None of the immortal emperors and devil emperors who were cultivating in great metropolis heaven appeared, and no one came to visit. A bunch of old fools. I gave you face, but you don't want it. Don't blame me then. On the invincible peak, Lin Fei sneered. Until the last day, not a single immortal emperor or devil emperor came to visit. Lin Fei's words were like a fart. No one cared about it. The people outside were all watching. Many people had guessed this result. Even though Lin Fei had been in the limelight recently, no one would care about Lin Fei since he hadn't become an emperor yet. If you don't come, I'll go and find you. A month later, many people saw a figure walking out of the Holy Heaven Academy. He took a step and traveled billions of miles. In a few steps, he disappeared from everyone's sight. He's going to make a move. Demon Lin is going to make a move himself. Quick, follow him. The shocking battle is about to begin. Will the east wind suppress the west wind, or will the west wind suppress the east wind? I'm really looking forward to it. Everyone was shocked. Chapter 1247. In the void, Lin Fei strode toward the south. During this month, Lin Fei did not idle around. He asked for help from the sect to collect information on immortal emperors and demon emperors. After a month, he already had a list in his hands. Demon Emperor Kilo, mid-stage first-step immortal emperor. This was the first demon emperor that Lin Fei wanted to find. Not long after, Lin Fei appeared in a dangerous place filled with thick fog. He opened his mouth and blew away the terrifying poisonous fog, revealing a sinkhole in the depths. Demon Emperor Kilo lived in this sinkhole. Demon Emperor Kilo, I'm here to pay a visit. Please come out. Boom! Boom! A deafening sound rumbled and exploded. The whole sinkhole shook. Who's causing trouble? A thin figure flew out of the sinkhole. It was Demon Emperor Kilo. Without saying a word, he took out a black gourd and spat out black fog. As soon as the black mist appeared, even the void was corroded. Humph, do you really think that I'm easy to bully? After being hit by my bone-dissolving black fog, no matter how strong your body is, it's useless. I can borrow your name to display my power. Blame yourself for finding me. Holding the gourd, Demon Emperor Kilo revealed a proud expression. Everyone in the great metropolis world knew about the news that Lin Fei had spread. How could Demon Emperor Kilo not know about it? In fact, he did not take Lin Fei seriously. A rising star would not believe it if he did not see it with his own eyes. Demon Emperor Kilo, is this the reason why you didn't come? Lin Fei leisurely walked out of the black fog. He shook his head lightly and struck a palm at Demon Emperor Kilo. If that's the case, you're not qualified to put on airs. Demon Emperor Kilo was very confident in his treasure, but when Lin Fei walked out, his expression changed drastically. How could his opponent's body be so strong? Bang! This palm swept across like a monstrous flood, crashing into Demon Emperor Kilo's body. Demon Emperor Kilo's tyrannical body encountered great terror, and his entire body was sent flying hundreds of millions of miles. Pervert! After sending Demon Emperor Quile flying with a palm strike, Lin Fei took a step forward and appeared in the sky above Demon Emperor Quile. Then, he stomped down on Demon Emperor Quile. Boom! 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 Within the bottomless pit, Demon Emperor Kilo's miserable screams could be heard. This emperor admits defeat. Don't hit me anymore. My immortal armor is about to break. Demon Lin is indeed a pervert. I didn't expect Demon Emperor Kilo to lose so miserably. Those who had caught up heard Demon Emperor Kilo's miserable cries before they even arrived. Everyone looked at each other in dismay. A demon emperor had been dealt with so quickly. Was Demon Lin really going to visit them one by one? That was a huge sum of money. If that was the case, then from today onwards, Demon Lin would be the #1 person in the great metropolis heaven, and no one would be able to compare to him. Southern region. Beside a large azure lake, there were a few immortal emperors sitting together. I heard that Lin Fei went out personally. I wonder who he will look for first. An old woman said expressionlessly, "They won't come looking for us anyway." A middle-aged man sneered, "If they come looking for us, with just a few of us, he won't be able to return. We, the 5 emperors of Luo Water, are not just for show. If Lin Fei dares to come, We will really defeat him and let him know the power of the 5 emperors of Luo water. Beside the lake, 5 people said disapprovingly. These 5 people were rogue cultivators. Back then, they had become sworn brothers and settled down beside the Luo water lake. They had opened up a sacred cultivation ground and had made quite a name for themselves in the great metropolis heaven. They had naturally heard the news that Lin Fei had released, but they didn't pay much attention to it. If the 5 of them joined forces, they could easily dominate the second step immortal emperors, unless they encountered a heaven-defying immortal emperor. With the 5 emperors of Luo water here, I can save myself a lot of trouble. Suddenly, a figure appeared in the sky. A black-robed man walked out. Who are you? How did you get in? The 5 emperors of Luo water were shocked. Someone was able to avoid their divine senses and appear in the sacred ground silently. Their expressions instantly turned ugly. If the other party made a move on them, they would obviously be at a great disadvantage. I'm Lin Fei, the current dean of the Holy Heaven Academy. Greetings, fellow Taoists. Lin Fei introduced himself. The 5 emperors of Luo water were shocked once again. So you're Lin Fei. They had heard of his name, but they had never seen him before. Compared to him, he was ridiculously young. Since everyone knows my name, then it's fine. I won't waste any more words. I believe you all know why I'm here. Lin Fei said indifferently, the 5 of you come at me together. Let me witness the power of the 5 emperors of Luo water. The 5 emperors of Luo water were not ordinary people. They knew why Lin Fei came looking for them. Great, we also want to experience fellow Taoist Lin's power. The old lady was the first to speak. She opened her mouth and spat out a snow lotus. The snow lotus landed on Lin Fei and froze the space-time of this area, making it impossible for him to move. Do it, the old lady said. The other 4 celestial emperors attacked one after another. The 5 emperors of Luo water had great teamwork. Among them, the old lady had comprehended the space-time Tao and could freeze space-time. She had a great advantage, and many people had fallen because of this. After the old lady froze space-time, the other 4 attacked immediately. Terrifying emperor might filled the air. Their divine abilities were like the sun and the moon, shaking the heavens and earth. They wanted to completely defeat Lin Fei. Not bad space-time power, but it's a pity that it's still too weak. The snow lotus above her head spun rapidly. It was sent flying by a punch. Lin Fei walked out from it, waving his hand to summon a flood of energy that blocked all the attacks. He had already appeared in front of the old woman and tapped out with a finger. The old woman was sent flying, coughing out large mouthfuls of blood. The remaining 4 celestial emperors were shocked. Lin Fei easily blocked their attacks. His battle prowess far exceeded their imagination. It was unbelievable. All of you, lie down too. The sword in Lin Fei's hand slashed out, slicing through their waists. The 4 immortal emperors coughed out blood at the same time, losing all color in their eyes. The sharp aura left a ghastly crack on their immortal armor. We lost. At this time, Lin Fei had already turned and left. The 5 emperors of Luo water had never been defeated so thoroughly before. But in front of Lin Fei, they knew how quickly they were defeated. Before, they didn't take Lin Fei seriously. Only now did they know how terrifying he was. He could kill them with just a thought. Even though they were wearing immortal armor, they couldn't block Lin Fei's killing intent. Not long after, the news of the 5 emperors' defeat spread, causing another huge uproar. Lin Fei headed south. He went to visit all the devil emperors and immortal emperors. To Lin Fei, it was a visit, but in the eyes of others, Lin Fei was beating them up one by one. The cultivating immortal emperors and devil emperors kept scolding Lin Fei for not knowing what was good for him, but no one was willing to take revenge. At first, it was the first step immortal emperor who was defeated. Not long after, The news of the second step immortal emperor Old Monsters being defeated spread out. Everyone's nerves had become thick. He was really going to sweep the entire great metropolis heaven, from the south to the north, and then to the west. No one could stop Lin Fei's footsteps. Everyone who came knocking on his door was defeated without exception. Only then did they realize that there was always someone better out there. They had been looking at the sky from the bottom of a well. Lin Fei's influence also reached a peak. Such a feat was almost 1 in a million for someone who hadn't become an emperor yet. Back then, there were some geniuses in this world, but they weren't as terrifying and heaven-defying as Lin Fei. Yudu Devil Emperor, rumored to be a third-step Devil Emperor, a true big shot. I wonder how strong he is. On this day, Lin Fei appeared outside Death Swamp. Along the way, almost no one could force Lin Fei to use his full strength, so he had already lost interest. This third-step Devil Emperor made Lin Fei look forward to it. It was rumored that this was an old Devil Emperor that had lived for hundreds of millions of years. Dao friend Lin, since you're here, why don't you come in and take a seat? On Death Swamp, gurgling sounds could be heard. After that, a huge, lifelike face appeared above the Death Swamp and spoke to Lin Fei. Why wouldn't I dare? Lin Fei took a step forward and appeared above Death Swamp. The face on the swamp opened its mouth to bite at Lin Fei. An entire sky was under the face. Go down. Lin Fei raised his hand and pressed down. A huge palm no smaller than the face appeared in the sky. The palm pressed down on the opponent's face, and the huge Death Swamp instantly tumbled nonstop. Not bad. It can withstand 70% of my power. Lin Fei rushed down, and a huge pit appeared above Death Swamp. It was forcefully squeezed out, and a black palace appeared 100,000 yards below the surface. It was filled with a deathly aura. No wonder you could sweep through everyone. No wonder their skills are inferior. On the palace, a gray-robed elder appeared. It was Yudu Devil Emperor. The black face on the swamp was one of his divine arts. Even though it was just a face, it could swallow a strong practitioner at the peak of second step Immortal Emperor in one gulp and kill him directly. Otherwise, Devil Emperor Chu Feng wouldn't have come looking for him. You're flattering me, Lin Fei said. What hadn't Yudu Devil Emperor seen before? There were also a few heaven-defying immortal emperors that died in his hands. It could be said that it was unprecedented for him to sweep through everyone as an immortal emperor. This made him interested. I've cultivated for a long time, and it's hard for me to be interested in anything in this world. Today, I'm interested in you. I wonder how big of a surprise you can bring me. Whoosh, Yudu Devil Emperor transformed into black water and rushed up. This was a divine art. Undying divine art. The black water merged, and a huge black iron rod smashed down from the sky. The ferocious power smashed onto Lin Fei's corporeal body, forcing him to take a step back. What powerful power! After cultivating the body of chaos, Lin Fei was protected by the power of chaos. This rod of Yudu Devil Emperor didn't cause too much damage to Lin Fei. To be able to force Lin Fei to take a step back, this Yudu Devil Emperor was very impressive. For the time being, there was really no one who could do this. Chapter 1248. Lin Fei took the initiative to attack and swept away all the Devil Emperors and Immortal Emperors along the way. He covered all the big and small things in Great Metropolis Heaven, and everyone paid attention to him. When Devil Lin found the legendary Yudu Devil Emperor, the legendary Third Step Devil Emperor, it caused an uproar. All kinds of mocking and ridicule came continuously. No one was optimistic about Devil Lin. In Great Metropolis Heaven, Devil Lin's battle power was unparalleled, and he suppressed the Immortal Emperors and Devil Emperors. Who was Yudu Devil Emperor? The legendary Third Step Devil Emperor's power was unfathomable. He cultivated the undying god's pain. Back then, a heaven-defying immortal emperor tried to take him as a follower, but he didn't succeed. His name spread throughout the worlds. Ever since that battle, no one dared to find Yudu Devil Emperor. The chances of Devil Lin finding Yudu Devil Emperor weren't high. It was a pity that they didn't dare to chase after him to take a look. Yudu Devil Emperor's swamp of death was a terrifying existence in great metropolis heaven. Whoever went would die. While the outside world was guessing underground palace, Lin Fei was fighting Yudu Devil Emperor. Yudu Devil Emperor showed enough respect and showed his full power as a third-step Devil Emperor. He didn't hide anything and went all out. Bang, 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 a huge iron rod would sometimes transform into a black current, sometimes as fierce as a tiger, and sometimes as soft as water. With a thought, it would burst forth with terrifying power. This power was enough to kill immortal emperors below third-step Devil Emperor. Normal third-step Devil Emperors might not be able to handle it. Lin Fei, who was wearing a black robe, had 6 arms that were like rainbows that smashed onto the iron rod. The void behind them shattered, as expected of my fierce reputation. Now, try my secret technique rod skills. The older Yudu Devil Emperor got, the more shocked he was. Ever since that battle back then, he had displayed his divine might and escaped from a heaven-defying immortal emperor. His name had spread throughout the worlds, and he had comprehended the undying divine art. Unless it was a heaven-defying immortal emperor of a 4th-step Devil Emperor, normal immortal emperors wouldn't be able to kill him. After cultivating for thousands of years, Yudu Devil Emperor's power had increased again. Normal 3rd-step Devil Emperors would be defeated in 3 moves. This was the confidence that belonged to Yudu Devil Emperor. Yudu Devil Emperor had naturally heard of the name Lin Fei before. The Heaven Devil Emperor of 1st-step Devil Emperor had died in the hands of this young man, but he didn't care. Even when immortal Emperor Chu Feng personally invited him, he didn't give him any face. After exchanging blows, Yudu Devil Emperor finally realized how powerful Lin Fei was. His physical body was terrifyingly strong. Moreover, if he wasn't a 3rd-step Demon Emperor, the force of the slap on the iron rod would have bounced back and sent it flying. Boom, boom, boom. Yudu Devil Emperor's aura rose again. Ordinary methods could not do anything to Lin Fei. He had no choice but to use a secret technique. Hua, hua, like the sound of flowing water, it rushed up, black shadows densely packed. Fellow Taoist Lin, if you can block this old man's secret technique, this old man admits that he is inferior to you. Behind him, a cold wind assaulted him. Another gust of cold wind came from the left. Gusts of cold wind surged towards Lin Fei. What a powerful secret technique! The cold wind blew across his skin, causing his skin to crack like silk. It's nothing to block your secret technique, divine art. Lin Fei was full of heroism. He retracted his 3 heads and 6 arms and stood with his hands behind his back. I'll stand still and witness Senior's secret technique, divine art. You are too arrogant. You are destined to regret it. Yudu Devil Emperor's voice came from all directions. Body of chaos. Faint ripples came from Lin Fei's body. Bang, 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 gusts of cold wind that were like 10,000 mountains smashed onto Lin Fei's unyielding body. Over 100 cold wind attacks. Ripples appeared on Lin Fei's body. This divine art secret technique is indeed very strong, as expected of a strong practitioner of the older generation in great metropolis world. He probably occupies a position among the 3rd-step demon emperors. Lin Fei thought to himself, the body of chaos is ridiculously strong. My corporeal body is as sturdy as a mountain. It doesn't move an inch. Whoosh, black shadows and cold wind surged towards Lin Fei continuously. The entire process lasted for over 10 breaths. Whoosh, the black shadows dispersed, and Yudu Devil Emperor let out a light sigh. He said helplessly, I'm not your match. I didn't expect a heaven-defying immortal emperor like you to appear in great metropolis world. When you succeed, You will be a heaven-defying immortal emperor. Disappointment. Yudu Devil Emperor had been famous for a long time. He had used all his divine arts and secret techniques, but he was still helpless against Lin Fei. He was convinced of his loss. To be able to admit his failure, Lin Fei's impression of Yudu Devil Emperor became much better. Standing in this position, there weren't many who could be so upright. I admit it. Lin Fei cupped his hands and said, I'm not confident in dealing with your undying divine art. Yudu Devil Emperor was most proud of comprehending the undying divine art. Back then, heaven-defying Devil Emperor couldn't do anything to Yudu Devil Emperor because of the undying divine art. I want to know if you have cultivated the body of chaos. Yudu Devil Emperor's eyes were like torches as he stared at Lin Fei. He wanted to know urgently. And that's right, I have indeed cultivated the body of chaos. Lin Fei thought to himself. Yudu Devil Emperor's knowledge wasn't bad, and he could even recognize the body of chaos. It is indeed the body of chaos. No wonder my secret technique is useless against you. Yudu Devil Emperor sighed. Back then, the body of chaos appeared and fought against the heroes. Never did I expect the body of chaos to appear again. What an eye-opener. I admit my defeat in this battle. Dao friend Lin, if you don't mind my old age, I'm willing to run around for you. In great metropolis world. As long as I say the word, those people will have to give me face. Everyone knew about the body of chaos. The cultivation of the body of chaos was as difficult as ascending to the heavens. It was already not bad to be able to cultivate a part of it, much less the entire corporeal body. There was such a good thing. Lin Fei naturally accepted Yudu Devil Emperor's good intentions without hesitation. Old ghost, come out quickly. In great metropolis world, a loud voice came from a dark space filled with the chirping of birds and fragrance of flowers. It startled all kinds of immortal birds and beasts, and they flew everywhere. God damn it, old ghost Yudu, you are here to cause trouble again. In the distance, a stream of light came over, and a scolding voice came from it. Not long later, an elder that had gone through the vicissitudes of life appeared. Old ghost Yudu, why didn't you stay at your place and came over to my place? You want to freeload again? Why did you bring a young person? You know my rules. Immortal Emperor Zhengxian was precisely this elder. He scolded, but he was curious. This good friend of Yudu Devil Emperor didn't take in disciples and was alone. When would he bring someone over? It was rather inconceivable. Old ghost, your temper is still so bad. Isn't it just one person? Yudu Devil Emperor said unhappily. He isn't an ordinary person. Not long ago, this emperor lost to him, and I couldn't even break his corporeal body. Immortal Emperor Zhengxian stared with his eyes wide open, and he sized up this young man. Are you joking? Lin Fei introduced himself. Senior Zheng, I'm Lin Fei, the Dean of Holy Heaven Academy. You are the devil Lin that caused a commotion outside? You are indeed young. Whoosh. Chapter 1249. P.S. Sorry, last month's promise has disappointed everyone. Last month, there were a total of 130 votes, and the monthly votes added up to 57. In other words, we owe 14 chapters, including the reward of 10,000 coins and 3 chapters. We owe a total of 17 chapters. This month, Xiaoke will pay them all back one by one, so don't worry. Today is Valentine's Day. I wish everyone a happy Valentine's Day. Brother Chu, it's not impossible to deal with Lin Fei. You know how I am. It's impossible for me to deal with Lin Fei with just a few words. This emperor is a third-step demon emperor. As long as you take out enough things, this emperor will help you deal with Lin Fei without hesitation. Corpses and bones were everywhere on the mountain of white bones. On the White Bone Mountain, there was an eye-catching white bone palace. This was a demon emperor palace. A ferocious demon emperor, Bone Emperor, lived here. He was a third-step demon emperor. In the vast greater heaven world, there were only a handful of third-step demon emperors and third-step immortal emperors. Bone Emperor was one of them, and it was rumored that he was preparing for a fourth-step demon emperor. This step was too difficult. Even though there were safety precautions, no one dared to undergo the tribulation. He had no confidence. Devil Emperor Chu Feng visited many immortal emperors and formed a temporary alliance to stop Lin Fei's ambitions. Although he had gathered many immortal emperors and devil emperors, he still lacked a powerful one. Previously, Devil Emperor Chu Feng had taken a liking to the Hades Devil Emperor and tried to invite him out, but he was rejected. Devil Emperor Chu Feng was very unhappy. Thus, he found the Bone Emperor. Senior Gu, how can we possibly take out the things that you've taken a fancy to? Devil Emperor Chu Feng was very clear about Bone Emperor's character. He was an unscrupulous person. As long as he paid the price, he would do anything. Among the third-step realm, his reputation was not good and he was quite hated. However, the Bone Emperor was powerful. He was a third-step demon emperor. He did not go out much and lived a carefree life. Bone Emperor was dressed in a black robe. His entire body was covered by a cloak, and his face could not be seen clearly. Upon closer inspection, one could still see that the black robe was empty, as if it would be blown away by a gust of wind. Jie, if you don't have anything good, then you better scram. The Bone Emperor had heard of Lin Fei. He was a rising star and was very ferocious. Recently, he had made all kinds of big moves. It was impossible not to know about him. Many famous immortal emperors were defeated by him. Of course, in the eyes of the Bone Emperor, what that brat did was nothing more than a small matter. Really, it was nothing. Senior Gu, listen to me. Devil Emperor Chu Feng hurriedly said, We don't have anything on us, but Lin Fei has something good on him. I heard that Senior Gu is about to cross the tribulation and become a fourth-step Devil Emperor. Everyone knows that this step is very dangerous. One wrong step, and all the other steps will be wrong. What if Senior Gu obtains a powerful physical cultivation technique? Very good. You've successfully piqued my interest. That's right, it was just an interest. 3,000 years ago, the Bone Emperor was ready. He had not gone through the tribulation to become a great emperor, so he was not confident. When Devil Emperor Chu Feng heard this, he knew that there was hope. He hurriedly explained Lin Fei's situation, emphasizing his physical body. Everyone in the great celestial realm knew that Lin Fei had a powerful physical body. This fleshly body was terrifyingly powerful. It was unknown how many people had been defeated by this body. If it's really as powerful as it is said to be, this emperor will go and get it back to study. Bone Emperor thought to himself, This emperor was born with a powerful body, but unfortunately it has a flaw. The lightning tribulation of a fourth-step Devil Emperor can destroy the heavens and earth, a total of 9,999 bolts. If Lin Fei's cultivation technique is really that heaven-defying, this emperor's chances of crossing the tribulation will increase by 10%. Just in case, this emperor has to experience this cultivation technique no matter what. The Bone Emperor would not give up any opportunity to improve his tribulation. You've convinced this emperor. The Bone Emperor said indifferently, If it's not as heaven-defying as the legends say, you know the result. He casually glanced at them. With this glance, Devil Emperor Chu Feng and the others immediately fell into an endless abyss, shrouded in death. A third-step Devil Emperor was truly terrifying. He was very strong, but Devil Emperor Chu Feng still couldn't withstand a glance from a third-step Devil Emperor. Senior Gu, you can rest assured. This junior can guarantee it with his head. Devil Emperor Chu Feng gritted his teeth and patted his chest to guarantee that Lin Fei's physical body cultivation technique was definitely a technique worth fighting. This emperor will personally make a trip. Immortal Emperor Zhang Xian pointed at him. It's really the same as what the Yuta Devil Emperor said. Lin Fei had already known about this move. On the way here, He had heard the Yudu Devil Emperor mention it. He didn't dodge. Lin Fei allowed the other party to do as they pleased. He learned many secrets of the great celestial world from the Yudu Devil Emperor. For example, a third-step immortal emperor. In the great celestial world, there were as many experts as there were clouds. Unfortunately, the realm master had fallen, and a large amount of wealth had been plundered. In addition, the experts had fallen, leading to the current situation. The Yudu Devil Emperor had once said that in the entire great celestial world, there was not a single fourth-step Devil Emperor. A third-step Devil Emperor was at most. At the mention of this, the Yudu Devil Emperor felt a wave of sorrow. A small world, it was indeed a small world. The other worlds had at least a fourth-step immortal emperor, but the great celestial world didn't have a single one. It was innately weak. There were also very few third-step immortal emperor realm experts. They either died of old age or forcefully transcended the tribulation. In the end, they failed at the last step and died under the lightning tribulation, or they were attacked by the heavenly Tao Supreme Treasure. The Yudu Devil Emperor had said that as long as he displayed his strength, with his and the Zhangxian Immortal Emperor's help, Lin Fei wouldn't have to do anything. Everything could be resolved. Clang! This finger landed on the heart of his brows. The sound of a bell exploded. That finger couldn't move an inch. What a strong corporeal body! No one dared to take the finger of the Zhangxian Immortal Emperor head-on. Even the Yudu Devil Emperor didn't dare to. It contained an attack of the great Tao. Defeated. The Yudu Devil Emperor laughed loudly. The Yudu Devil Emperor couldn't do anything to Lin Fei's chaotic body. Such a person was a headache for all the immortal emperors and devil emperors. If his corporeal body was strong and his abilities were average, they wouldn't care. If they really wanted to deal with him, there were still ways. Unfortunately, not only was Lin Fei's corporeal body strong, but his power was also unfathomable. The Yudu Devil Emperor didn't know how to deal with such a person. Seeing his old friend defeated, the Yudu Devil Emperor was in a good mood. Again, the Zhangxian Immortal Emperor's finger failed. Seeing his old friend's expression, he tried to be brave. I don't believe that a young man can be so strong. You must be lying. If you don't listen to your elders, you will suffer. Ha ha ha. The Zhangxian Immortal Emperor glared at the Yudu Devil Emperor, and his aura rose. The aura of a third-step Immortal Emperor was no weaker than that of the Yudu Devil Emperor. He was another powerful third-step Immortal Emperor. Young man, once I attack, there is no chance for me to stop. Senior, feel free to attack. There is no need to hold back. All right. One had to admit that as a third-step Immortal Emperor, the Zhangxian Immortal Emperor's abilities weren't just for show. Powerful secret arts and divine arts were endless. His abilities had already reached the peak of the third-step Immortal Emperor. Lin Fei was as still as a mountain, allowing the attack to land on his body. At the beginning, the Zhangxian Immortal Emperor was aggressive. Back then, he was also a prodigy and had the pride of a prodigy. When had he seen a young man more arrogant than him? Even the Yudu Devil Emperor didn't dare to boast. He unleashed all his divine arts and secret arts without holding back. He planned to teach this youth a lesson, but he wouldn't really kill him. He still had to give face to Yudu Devil Emperor. As time passed, the Zhangxian Immortal Emperor was stunned. With his strength, it was extremely easy for him to kill a third-step Immortal Emperor. Last time, when the third-step Immortal Emperor came to ask for the sacred medicine, he severely injured the other party in 3 moves. The other party was even wearing a top-grade immortal armor. That scene was still vivid in his mind. I have no choice but to admit defeat. After a series of attacks, Lin Fei didn't move at all. Ripples spread out from the other party's body and easily dissipated the attacks. The Zhangxian Immortal Emperor was shocked beyond words. He stared with his eyes wide open and retracted his divine arts. He stared at Lin Fei from head to toe. Your corporeal body is too terrifying. How can there be such a terrifying defense in the world? Although I'm not a fourth-step Immortal Emperor, I believe my abilities can fight against one without losing. But you, even though the Zhang Xian Immortal Emperor was a third-step Immortal Emperor, he couldn't help but be shocked in the face of such a situation. Hee, now you know, Dao Friend Lin's defense can't be broken unless it's a fourth-step strong practitioner. The Yudu Devil Emperor attacked. You won't be able to guess that Dao Friend Lin cultivates the incomparable immortal body, the body of chaos. The body of chaos. The Zhang Xian Immortal Emperor dragged out his voice. Everyone in the universe knew about the body of chaos, especially the Immortal Emperors and Devil Emperors. I admit defeat. After a long time, the Zhang Xian Immortal Emperor said with a serious expression, Dao Friend Lin, I shouldn't have asked this. If I don't ask, I won't be at ease. May I ask if you have any more Chaos Divine Stones? After saying that, he revealed an urgent expression. The Yudu Devil Emperor's eyes flashed. Old Ghost, are you thinking of? Lin Fei didn't answer in a hurry. No one knew the importance of the Chaos Divine Stones better than him. Back then, the Ji Kuan Devil Emperor emphasized that it couldn't be leaked. Looking at this fellow, the Zhang Xian Immortal Emperor panicked and hurriedly explained, Dao Friend Lin, I can guarantee that no one other than you and me will know about today's matter. I can even swear a heavenly Dao oath. The Yudu Devil Emperor took the initiative to say to Lin Fei, Dao Friend Lin, I actually know about the old ghost. He probably wants to repair an Emperor Divine weapon in his hands. Repair an Emperor Divine weapon? That's right. The Yudu Devil Emperor and the Zhang Xian Immortal Emperor often quarreled, but they knew each other's situation. To be able to cultivate the body of chaos he might be holding back. The Yudu Devil Emperor had to help his old friend no matter what, so he briefly explained the situation. It was actually very simple. The Emperor Divine weapon encountered great terror in a secret realm and was partially damaged, causing the power of the divine weapon to be reduced by 30%. If he wanted to completely repair it, he would need some special materials, and the Chaos Divine Stones were an important part of it. The Zhang Xian Immortal Emperor wanted to buy the Chaos Divine Stones. An Emperor Divine weapon had a huge impact on one's abilities. Dao Friend Lin, I don't need a lot, just half the size of a fist. I am willing to use all kinds of materials to exchange for it, even if I have to go bankrupt. As long as it's in the great celestial world, we'll help you. The Zhang Xian Immortal Emperor really needed the Chaos Divine Stones. They were priceless. Chapter 1250. On this day, a few uninvited guests arrived outside Holy Heaven Academy. Senior Gu, this place is the Elysium, and that kid Lin Fei is the dean of this place. He holds great authority in the academy, and he's already secretly hailed as the #1 power in the great metropolis world. Following the destruction of the 3 great sections, the influence of Sacred Heaven Academy was advancing at a rapid pace. Every day, there would be a large number of genius disciples trying to become a disciple of the academy. Back then, the Holy Heaven Academy had been expanded by a great divine ability. Looking down from above, one could see a continuous chain of buildings and students flying in the sky. It was full of vitality. It does have some tricks up its sleeve. The person in the lead wore a white robe, and a monstrous aura of death gathered above his head like a black cloud. A cold aura of death instantly enveloped the sky above the Holy Heaven Academy as gales whistled. This white-robed man was the Bone Emperor, whom Devil Emperor Chu Feng had spent a lot of time persuading. He was a third-step Devil Emperor and had a notorious reputation in the great metropolis world. Devil Emperor Chu Feng chimed in. It's rumored that there are all sorts of treasures in the academy. How can a person like Lin Fei possess such treasures? In my opinion, these treasures should belong to a peerless expert, like Senior Bone. Yes, we think so too. The other immortal emperors and devil emperors agreed. Ha, I like those words. The Bone Monarch had been here before. Back then, the Saint Sky Immortal Emperor of the Academy was a powerful character, but the scale of the Academy was far from what it was now. With a casual glance, the The Bone Emperor knew that the Holy Sky Academy had many good things. Devil Emperor Chu Feng's words were exactly what the Bone Emperor wanted. "You've done a good thing." Devil Emperor Chu Feng was overjoyed. "This is what I should do." Everyone knew that the Bone Emperor was not easy to serve. He was ruthless when he turned hostile, sinister, and cunning. He killed people like flies. In recent years, he had curbed his infamy, but it had not been forgotten. Devil Monarch Chu Feng signaled to a Devil Monarch. That Devil Monarch was pleased and quickly walked out. The peerless expert Bone Emperor has personally arrived. "People of the Divine Heaven Academy, why are you still not coming out?" The Demon Emperor's voice resounded in the sky above the Holy Heaven Academy. Devil Emperor Chu Feng thought to himself, Lin Fei, I wonder what your expression will be like if I take over your lair. I'm really looking forward to it." In the great metropolis heavens, who didn't know of the news that Lin Fei had released? If his lair was captured, he would become the laughingstock of the world. It's the Bone Emperor. I've seen him before. This is too frightening. The Bone Emperor has actually appeared. Get out of here. Outside the academy, many of the factions dispersed. The Bone Emperor's ferocious reputation had been built up over a long period of time. He was 10,000 times more ferocious than Lin Fei. More importantly, he had been famous for a long time. The Bone Emperor's name was like a terrifying demon king that spread like the wind. In just a short while, the originally bustling entrance of the academy was completely empty. No one was willing to offend this terrifying demon king. Logically speaking, apart from immortal emperors, no one else could withstand the Bone Thearcha's aura. At this moment, something unexpected happened, other than being astonished at the beginning. The disciples of the Elysium Academy returned to normal after that. They went back to whatever they were doing, and no one stayed behind. Disapproving, truly disapproving. Was the Bone Emperor amazing? Ferocious reputation? These were of no interest to them at all. Which disciple of the Academy hadn't seen a grand scene before? During the ceremony, the Dean had gone on a killing spree. He had killed the high and mighty immortal emperors and demon emperors with a wave of his hand. His heroic spirit had shocked the world. They would never forget that scene. The disciples of the Academy were fanatical. Another blind person has come to court death. Not far away, two disciples passed by. After taking a glance, they revealed disdainful expressions. Their companion nodded and said seriously, "That's right. He only dares to come when the Dean isn't around. I heard that the Bone Emperor has a great reputation, but it seems like he's just a coward." The other person sneered. "Great reputation? What's the use? He's just a coward. When the Dean comes, he'll probably be the first to run. This kind of person is the most promising." "That's right. I hate this kind of person the most." The two of them didn't hide anything. The high and mighty third-step demon emperors were like ordinary people in their eyes. Demon Emperor Chu Feng peeked at the Bone Emperor's expression. The latter was expressionless, as if nothing had happened. Those familiar with him knew that the Bone Emperor was enraged. The people of the Elysium Academy were too daring. They even dared to disregard the Bone Emperor. Even Demon Emperor Chu Feng didn't have the guts. Now, there was no need for him to bewitch them. Just based on what he said earlier, the Elysium Academy would have to face the wrath of a third-step Demon Emperor. They asked for it. Demon Emperor Chu Feng was immensely proud. The Elysium Academy was finished. "I haven't refined blood in a long time." His words were filled with killing intent. The air instantly turned cold. Everyone, including Demon Emperor Chu Feng, had goosebumps as fear spread from the bottom of their hearts. The Bone Emperor walked forward. With a step, the void collapsed. "Senior Bone, you can't go any further. If you go any further, you'll be crossing the boundary. The Academy has the right to suppress you." Saint 33 walked out of the void and said to the Bone Emperor, "Humph, a first-step immortal emperor. You dare to suppress me, The Bone Emperor swept his cold gaze across. A cold gleam shot out from his eyes. White bones were like mountains wailing for thousands of miles. A casual glance from him could kill a first step or second step immortal emperor. A first step immortal emperor dared to stop him. He was simply courting death. It didn't matter if he killed such a person. Senior Bone, you're old. It's better for you to leave. After taking another step, Saint 33's voice came from the front again. He stood in the sky with a slightly pale face. However, he had withstood a casual attack from a third-step Demon Emperor. He actually didn't die. Demon Emperor Chu Feng and the rest behind him also widened their eyes and kept saying that it was impossible. How could a first-step immortal emperor withstand a gaze attack from the Bone Emperor? This didn't make sense. Since when could a first-step immortal emperor be this strong? So it's the immortal robe on you. It can actually withstand my attack. Good stuff. The Bone Emperor took a casual glance. His gaze landed on the immortal robe on the other party's body. A hint of surprise flashed in his eyes. I like this immortal robe very much. From now on it belongs to me. A bone spear pierced through the sky and pierced toward Saint 33. Facing this domineering attack, Saint 33's expression didn't change. He endured the immense pressure and said coldly, "How dare you cause trouble in the Elysium Academy? I don't care who you are. I'll suppress all of you." Ha ha ha, you think you can suppress me? I should say that I'm going to suppress all of you today, including Lin Fei. The Bone Emperor laughed loudly. Just a few people in the academy? In the entire great metropolis world, apart from those few who would dare to suppress him. You dare to act tough? Boom! In the depths of the Elysium Academy, a terrifying aura soared into the sky. The bone spear instantly turned into dust. In the void, a giant finger covered with runes flew out. The color of the sky changed. The finger pressed down on the Bone Emperor's body. The Bone Emperor's expression changed drastically. Impossible, impossible! Bang! Chapter 1251. An aura burst out from the depths of the Holy Sky Academy. The Bone Emperor, who was flaunting his prowess earlier, exploded with a single finger. With just one finger, the powerful third-step demon Overlord exploded. The onlookers outside were stunned. No one could react in time. Everyone knew that the strongest person in the Holy Sky Academy was Lin Fei. His combat strength was unfathomable. Until now, no one knew what realm Lin Fei was at. Apart from Lin Fei, there were very few immortal emperors in the Holy Sky Academy. Since when did the Holy Sky Academy hide a powerful demon emperor? How could the ferocious demon emperor suppress the Holy Sky Academy just like that? Luckily, we weren't naive enough to think that the Holy Sky Academy would collapse at the first blow without Demon Lin. Demon Lin is too calculative. Who would know that there is a terrifying demon emperor hidden within the Holy Sky Academy? He is at least a third-step demon emperor and is several times stronger than the Bone Emperor. When we return, we must arrange for disciples to join the Holy Sky Academy. With such a hidden, peerless demon emperor, the Holy Sky Academy will definitely be the overlord of the great metropolis world. Demon Emperor Chu Feng and the rest were all dumbfounded by this sudden scene. The Bone Emperor exploded? It was unbelievable. If it hadn't happened in front of them, they would have doubted if it was real. How could this be? Didn't the information say that the Holy Sky Academy only has 2 to 3 immortal emperors, and all of them are first-step immortal emperors? How could there be an expert who is at least a third-step demon emperor? Let's go! If we don't leave now, we won't have another chance. These devil emperors and immortal emperors realized how terrifying this was. They cursed Lin Fei for being so shameless, hiding such a devil emperor and almost causing them to be crippled. We were tricked. After his flesh was pierced, the Bone Arch reassembled his body. His face was filled with fear. He glared at Demon Emperor Chu Feng. Who could guarantee that the Holy Sky Academy didn't have any experts? Who could guarantee that the Holy Sky Academy would collapse at the first blow? Who could guarantee that the Holy Sky Academy didn't have any opponents? Devil Emperor Chu Feng felt a chill down his spine. He knew that this savage Devil Emperor bore a grudge against him. This was a matter of life and death. He said anxiously, "Senior Gu, listen to me. I really didn't know." The Bone Emperor didn't listen to him. He sent out a palm strike, and a white bone mountain came crashing down. Devil Emperor Chu Feng's strength as a second-step Devil Emperor wasn't enough. He was instantly suppressed under the white bone mountain and coughed out large mouthfuls of blood. Why is my life so bitter? Demon Emperor Chu Feng's resentment was very deep. With this move, the huge finger jabbed out again. "Sir, let's talk things out. This emperor isn't targeting the Holy Heaven Academy on purpose." The Bone Emperor had only spoken halfway when the white bone mountains crumbled. Another finger poked his body. "This emperor is dead because of you." The powerful bone monarch's body exploded for the second time. This emperor was wrong. After the second reconstruction, the Bone Emperor used his divine ability to escape. He never dared to come to this nightmarish place again. It was truly terrifying. "He's here. You don't have to leave." The third time, the bone arch was pierced through once again. This time, the powerful bone arch didn't come back to life. The terrifying finger obliterated all vitality. The ancient bone arch died just like that. Unimaginable. Quick, send the news back. The death of a third-step Devil Emperor was definitely shocking news. The Holy Heaven Academy was suspected to have a fourth-step Devil Emperor, or at least a third-step Devil Emperor. Devil Emperor Chu Feng shook off the white bone mountain. When he saw that the powerful bone arch was pierced to death with 3 fingers, his scalp went numb and his body trembled. A third-step Devil Emperor died, just like that. You guys don't have to leave either. In the void, a huge hand reached out and covered the heaven and earth. Devil Emperor Chu Feng and the other immortal emperors and devil emperors all fell into the palm of the other party. "Junior brother is really amazing. You left behind such a great god." The Holy 33 had seen many big scenes, but they were still deeply shocked. The Bone Arch, a third-step Devil Emperor, died just like that. Devil Emperor Chu Feng and the others, who were second-step Devil Emperors, couldn't even block one move and were all captured. In the depths of the Holy Heaven Academy, "Master, you're so amazing," a young girl said in adoration. Devil Emperor Chu Feng and the others, who were showing off just now, were trembling in someone's palm. With a flip of someone's hand, they fell out. "They are too weak." Although that was what he said, Devil Emperor Silence Earth was still very proud. "You will become an expert of this realm in the future. Let's build a good foundation." Devil Emperor Silence Earth said kindly, "Master, these fellows are too evil. They purposely came to cause trouble when my father wasn't around. They are simply too despicable. Why don't you kill them?" Devil Emperor Chu Feng and the others had just come out. They were so scared that their limbs went soft. A terrifying aura enveloped them. When they heard that this girl wanted to kill them, they instantly broke out in cold sweat. "Don't kill us. We were wrong. It was Bone Arch who forced us. We are all immortal emperors and devil emperors. As long as Senior doesn't kill us, we are willing to become your servants." In order to survive, they said that they wanted to become servants. Even Bone Arch was dead, let alone them. Devil Emperor Silence Earth said, "They are all second-step devil emperors and can be used to guard the gate. Killing them would be letting them off too easily." With a single sentence, their fates were decided. As long as they didn't die, they all regretted it now. It was so good to be free and unfettered. Now they had become gatekeepers. Lin Fei didn't know about this. At this moment, Lin Fei was accompanied by immortal Emperor Zheng Xian and Yuda Devil Emperor. They went to visit a few third-step immortal emperors and devil emperors. That day, Lin Fei agreed to immortal Emperor Zheng Xian's request. third step immortal emperors were the older generation of great metropolis world. With their help, he could save a lot of trouble. Lin Fei really didn't care about a small piece of chaos divine stone. Of course, Lin Fei didn't need anything. He gave it to immortal Emperor Zhengxian, which surprised immortal Emperor Zhengxian. He was very grateful. With his identity, he couldn't do that. Immortal Emperor Zhengxian, you the Devil Emperor, how can I reject your invitation? In a dark space, another immortal emperor accepted the invitation. 2 third-step immortal emperors and devil emperors came together, along with the mysterious Lin Fei. They didn't give him a chance to reject. Lin Fei didn't go to the second step immortal emperors and devil emperors. He went to find the third step immortal emperors and devil emperors. If they agreed, it was easy. If they rejected, Lin Fei's request was very simple. He wanted them to swear to Heaven Dao that they wouldn't lay a hand on Holy Heaven Academy. If they didn't swear, Lin Fei wouldn't be courteous and would just suppress them. Lin Fei didn't have any information on the older generation of great metropolis world. With the help of immortal Emperor Zhengxian and Yudu Devil Emperor, he was like a tiger that had grown wings. In less than 3 months, the top-notch immortal emperors and devil emperors all fell into Lin Fei's control. Half a year later, shocking news came from Holy Heaven Academy. Third step immortal emperors and devil emperors, ancient existences, took the initiative to join Holy Heaven Academy and become guest elders of the Academy. Once the news came out, it shook great metropolis world again. Holy Heaven Academy's overall strength soared and became the #1 power in great metropolis world. Everyone knew that such a day would come. The time was too short, and it was beyond their imagination. They couldn't help but admire Lin Fei's methods. With the ancient existences joining them, no one would be able to shake their position. Holy Heaven Academy would become a terrifying existence. Among them, the most terrifying one was Lin Fei. Other than the heaven-cracking sect, the rest of the 6 sects took the initiative to congratulate Holy Heaven Academy. Now we can finally heave a sigh of relief. On Invincible Peak, Lin Fei stood with his hands behind his back, his long hair fluttering in the wind. Outsiders will always be outsiders. I still have to nurture a batch of experts. Lin Fei mumbled to himself. No one knew what he meant. With the help of the third step devil emperors and the chaotic reincarnation formation, Holy Heaven Academy wouldn't have to worry about anything for a short period of time. Anyone who dared to attack Holy Heaven Academy would have to think twice. Heaven Cracking Sect. It was once the #1 sect in great metropolis world. Now that they had fallen from the top, the sect's influence had shrunk, and they had given up a lot of territory. They were no longer as arrogant as before. They seemed desolate, a beauty in her twilight years. No one would have expected that the once mighty heaven-cracking sect would lose so much in such a short period of time. The sects that were on good terms with them had started to drift apart. Currently, the heaven-cracking sect was cold and cheerless. I didn't expect it. I really didn't expect it. The Duanyun Immortal Emperor, the Immortal Emperor of the Tongtian sect, said 2 unexpected words in one breath. He really didn't expect Lin Fei to be so generous. He really didn't expect Lin Fei to have the ability to form such a powerful force. Even though this power was nothing in the face of the Tongtian Gate, it could at most raise its strength by a significant margin. Sect leader, what should we do now? According to Demon Lin's personality, he'll definitely attack our sky-cracking sect after he gathers all these forces. The elders didn't have such a good attitude. They couldn't bear to see the rise of Holy Heaven Academy. It was as disgusting as eating a fly. Calm down. Duanyun Immortal Emperor stood up, dissatisfied with these elders. No matter how powerful Holy Heaven Academy is, it is still limited. It won't be able to achieve anything great. You should know that Heaven Cracking Sect has the Heaven Cracking Sect behind it. That is enough. After saying that, he turned around and left. Lin Fei's force is getting bigger and bigger. I have underestimated him. Duanyun, Immortal Emperor, underestimated Lin Fei's ability. There are still a few years before the battle of the Sector Lords. I can't let Lin Fei have it so easy, Duanyun, Immortal Emperor, thought. I should go and find them. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. He really needed to take action. On the World Bridge, a figure walked over and disappeared at the end of the World Bridge. That person, why does he look so familiar? Not long after, another person appeared on the World Bridge. He looked at the figure in the distance and blinked. He looks like Duanyun, Immortal Emperor. Lin Fei was curious. This guy didn't stay in the sect and came out instead. Did he go to get reinforcements? Forget it. I don't care if he is reinforcements or not. I'll just go and do my own things. Lin Fei had a lot of things to do on this trip. If not for that, he would have been interested in following them to take a look and get rid of that fellow. Even if he died, he wouldn't know who did it. Wow. Chapter 1252. The information I collected is not accurate. I have to make a trip to the Tianyin Tower. They will have the corresponding information. In a desperate situation, a stream of light came out from the abyss. Looking at the abyss below, he shook his head gently. Lin Fei was not satisfied. Only then did he realize that the information he had collected was far from what he had imagined. Ancient mutated beasts are really hard to find. He couldn't help but think of the demon snake he had killed in the abyss. That demon snake was very strong at the Immortal King level. It was terrifyingly powerful, but it was still not satisfied with Lin Fei's words. Tianyin Tower. It existed in every world. Its power was unimaginably terrifying. After coming out of the abyss, Lin Fei went all the way to the Tianyin Tower. This time, Lin Fei's purpose was very simple. He wanted to hatch some powerful mutated beasts. The current him couldn't be compared to the past. His target was at least ancient mutated beasts. Others might not be able to cultivate powerful immortal beasts in a short period of time. Lin Fei was different. After inheriting everything from the Insect Queen, Lin Fei would be able to cultivate a group of loyal and devoted warriors. The grade had become incomparably important. Only ancient mutated beasts could unleash their strongest strength. Unfortunately, after coming out, he didn't encounter any ancient mutated beasts according to the information. After a long time, it was no different from looking for a needle in a haystack. Lin Fei put on his cloak and walked into the Tianyin Tower. This wasn't the first time he came to the Tianyin Tower. Every time he came, Lin Fei was still shocked by the terrifying power of the Tianyin Tower. It could open a branch in the universe. Fellow Taoist, do you need any service? Lin Fei covered himself with his cloak and ancient divine power. His every move released a majestic aura. As soon as he entered, people immediately noticed that he was extraordinary and took the initiative to greet him. I want information about ancient mutated beasts. The price is not a problem. After destroying the 3 major sects, Lin Fei's net worth was high and he was full of confidence. A big customer. The person was quite excited. Sir, this way please. The information about ancient mutated beasts will definitely satisfy you. As long as this customer was satisfied, it would definitely be a big business. Not long after, Lin Fei came out of the Tianyin Tower with satisfaction. As expected of the Tianyin Tower, as long as you can pay the price, you can buy anything. It's a pity that ancient beasts are hard to find. Even if they exist, once the news spreads, they'll be bought immediately. They won't wait for you. After paying a considerable amount of true essence, Lin Fei obtained the information about the ancient beast as he wished. After seeing this information, he realized that there was a huge gap between the information he had collected previously. There's no time to lose. I'll head to the nearest world to check it out. If there really is an ancient beast, I can suppress it and hatch it. It was a dusky space. Gusts of black wind blew past, and wherever it passed, large chunks of rocks would be turned into fine powder, dissipating in the air. This is it. In the void, a figure appeared. His powerful divine sense swept out and in the end he nodded. After confirming this was the place, he dived in. Whoosh, a black wind blew. Lin Fei allowed the black wind to fall on his body as if he had entered an uninhabited land. As he went deeper, the power of the black wind increased greatly. It was no wonder that even celestial emperors didn't dare to barge in recklessly. Lin Fei chose to ignore all of this. According to the information, there was an ancient beast living in this desolate land. It had once swallowed a first-step celestial emperor, which was known by everyone. Unfortunately, since then, no one had seen this ancient beast again. Hairball, you are from the primordial evil dragon clan. You scared the ancient beast out. Lin Fei pulled Furball out. The fellow was still sleepy and extremely displeased at being disturbed, so it flew out in a sullen manner, disappearing without a trace in the blink of an eye. Roar, not long after, a strong gust of wind swept over like a huge army. Lin Fei's expression changed. The ancient beast has appeared. Hua, Lin Fei broke through the wind array. In front of him, a beast the size of a mountain with black skin was squatting on the ground. Its long tongue kept lashing at the void, and it looked very angry. Hairball was a primordial evil dragon and had the ability to control the void. It kept devouring immortals and became stronger. This ancient beast was very strong, but it wasn't an immortal emperor yet. Every time its tongue lashed, it missed. Ancient beast, golden toad. This was the ancient beast recorded in the information. Croak, croak. When Jinha saw that someone had come, he opened his mouth and spat out a black wind. His vision was filled with pitch-black darkness and a pungent smell. Poison and corrosion. No immortal dared to underestimate it. Hairball was very unhappy that this fellow attacked her master. Her body enlarged and grew with the wind. In the blink of an eye, she turned into a horrifying primordial evil dragon that was hundreds of thousands of meters long. Huff, Hairball opened her mouth and blew, and the black wind was torn apart. Her long tail whipped and landed on Jinha's body. Jinha cried out in pain, and his huge body was sent flying. I don't need to do anything. Hairball can handle it. Just as expected, Hairball's huge body and terrifying strength. Jinha was an ancient beast with great strength. Facing Hairball, he was at a disadvantage due to the innate suppression and was whipped and beaten by Hairball. After a while, Jinha begged for mercy. Hairball's huge body sat down and pinned Jinha down. Fortunately, Jinha was an ancient beast and had strong vitality, so he didn't die. Huff, Lin Fei landed beside Jinha. Hairball, you did well. An ancient beast is indeed an ancient beast. This trip wasn't in vain. Lin Fei liked ancient beasts like Jinha very much. After hatching, it would be an immortal emperor expert and had unlimited room for growth. Go. Lin Fei released his power and wrapped Jinha. No matter how Jinha struggled, it couldn't escape. Golden Beetle greets Master. A few days later, the huge cocoon broke open and a sinister-looking, middle-aged man walked out. Ancient beasts were ferocious and terrifying. After transforming, they looked sinister. Lin Fei wasn't surprised. Originally, Lin Fei wanted to give it a name. Since it already had a name, it would be easy. From today onwards, you will follow me. Lin Fei was in an exceptionally good mood now that he had obtained an expert transformed from an ancient mutated beast. Yes. Lin Fei asked about the situation. After hatching, Jinha's strength wasn't affected. He already had the strength of a half-step immortal emperor. Lin Fei immediately understood that the other party was an ancient beast. After hatching, it wouldn't lose much of its strength. According to the Golden Beetle, they could fight against a first-step immortal emperor by relying on the powerful defenses of the ancient mutated beasts. If they had a suitable weapon, their strength would be even more terrifying. With an ancient beast in hand, Lin Fei was looking forward to the next ancient beast. For this information, Lin Fei had paid a huge price. Of course, He hoped that the stronger the ancient beast, the better. It would be worth it. More importantly, ancient beasts had the most room for improvement. Chapter 1253. Gui Ling greets Master. Hu Si greets Master. Ikong greets Master. According to the information he bought from the Tianyin Tower, Lin Fei broke into the forbidden mystic lands one by one, suppressed the ancient beasts and hatched them, turning them into the generals by his side. Just as he had guessed, the ancient beasts themselves had extremely high potential. Once they transformed, their strength did not decrease much, and they inherited all the abilities of the ancient beasts. In just half a year, there were a total of 6 generals by Lin Fei's side. These 6 generals were at least a half-step immortal emperor. If they transformed into their original forms, their strength would increase by another level, reaching a first-step immortal emperor. 6 generals, plus Snake Demon and Long Tian. There are a total of 8 generals. As long as I gather 12 generals, the formation left by the Insect Queen will have a place to use. He had brought 6 generals with him. Lin Fei almost did not encounter any danger along the way. Although those forbidden mystic lands were dangerous, they could not stop Lin Fei's footsteps. With 6 generals clearing the way, the pressure of the ancient beast saved him a lot of trouble, scaring the ferocious beasts into not daring to move. Lin Fei was very simple. They could do whatever they wanted. He specially taught them a set of cultivation techniques to devour all kinds of flesh to increase their strength. Every forbidden mystic land began to suffer. The 6 generals, equipped with the Chaos Armor and Chaos Divine Sword, swept across the entire forbidden land. Wherever they passed, there was only emptiness. Since then, news spread from many worlds that some forbidden mystic lands had inexplicably become empty, and all kinds of ferocious beasts had disappeared, causing an uproar. Many people went to watch. Many people were perplexed when the news of these miraculous events spread. What happened in the forbidden mystic lands? Lin Fei swept over. He also obtained a lot of treasures. Most importantly, the 6 generals were devouring powerful flesh, and their strength was increasing. It would not take long for them to break through to first step immortal emperor. Only this last general is left. A year later, Lin Fei now had 11 generals by his side. Relying on the information he had, Lin Fei didn't stop barging into forbidden lands one after another in search of ancient beasts. Unfortunately, there were some forbidden lands where ancient beasts didn't exist. In the end, it was all for naught. In a year's time, he had suppressed 11 ancient beasts. Lin Fei was very impressive. Right now, they only lacked the last ancient beast. Among the 11 generals, there are 2 immortal emperors, 7 half-step immortal sovereigns, and 2 first-step immortal sovereigns. The last general must be the strongest. With this decision in mind, Lin Fei set his sights on the strongest ancient mutated beast mentioned in the information. That's it. The Tuyun Great World. The Tuyun Great World. It was a great world with considerable influence. Lin Fei brought 11 battle generals with him, but he did not keep a high profile. He chose to keep a low profile. In the city, he bought a map and arranged for 11 battle generals to inquire about the specific situation. Now that he had a battle general, Lin Fei didn't have to do it himself. Master, there's news. Very soon, the battle generals returned. Lin Fei obtained general information about the Land of Destruction. The Land of Destruction was the place Lin Fei wanted to go. The Tianyin Tower's information stated that there was a destruction beast in the Land of Destruction. The information also stated that this destruction beast was at least a peak second step immortal emperor. Its battle strength was equivalent to a third step immortal emperor. The destruction beast usually lived in the depths of the Land of Destruction. There were unimaginable destructive winds in that area. Any immortal that came into contact with it would immediately turn into a pile of white bones. The Land of Destruction became one of the 6 great forbidden lands of the Tuyun Great World. The Tuyun Great World was huge. Even an expert at Lin Fei's level had to spend half a month on the way to the Land of Destruction before he finally arrived at the Land of Destruction. When he neared the area of the Land of Destruction, the cold and gloomy aura made one's hair stand on end. This was a horrifying place. In the Land of Destruction, Lin Fei's battle generals discovered a town. People came and went, and it was very lively. There was a constant stream of people going to the town. "Master, I'm back." Not long after, a skinny young man flew back. This skinny young man was an ancient mutated rat with terrifying talent. He was best at gathering information. "Master, the people below said that the Land of Destruction that opens once every 500 years is about to open. These people are going there to search for treasures. Rumor has it that after the destructive winds pass, some sacred herbs will grow with the immortal chi of heaven and earth." The heavenly rat battle general knew everything about the Land of Destruction. With his eloquence, he learned some secrets that no one knew about. "Master, I've also heard that many major sects are going to the Land of Annihilation to exterminate the beasts. It's said that the annihilation pearls inside the beasts are about to mature. If you take them, you'll be able to cultivate a powerful secret magic." Lin Fei frowned slightly. "I'm not very lucky. So many people are eyeing the destruction beast. I'm preparing to set up the 12 battle generals formation." The importance of the destruction beast was beyond Lin Fei's imagination. "Let's stay in the city and observe the situation first." Lin Fei took the battle generals to stay in an inn. The heavenly rat went out every day to gather information and bring back the information. One had to admit that among the 9 battle generals, no one was better than the heavenly rat in this aspect. The other 8 battle generals weren't happy about this. He stayed there for a month. The Land of Destruction is about to open. Cheers came from outside the city in the morning. Sounds of people flying through the air could be heard. "Let's go." During these days, Lin Fei had learned about the situation. It was more serious than he had imagined. Not only the elders of the big sects were coming, but the Realm Master's disciples were also coming to compete for the destruction beast. Outside the Land of Destruction, 2 extremes. Outside the Land of Destruction, the sky was clear without a cloud in 10,000 li. The area 1,000,000 li away from the Land of Destruction was a barren wasteland. There was no life, not even a blade of grass. That was because the aura of the destruction wind had shrouded this area. Within the Land of Destruction, dark clouds covered the sky. The wind was like waves, lightning flashed, and thunder rumbled. It was rumored that the Land of Destruction not only had the destruction wind, but also a lightning immortal realm that nurtured terrifying lightning. These people didn't dare to get too close. The Land of Destruction contained great treasures. No one dared to underestimate them. It was unknown how many immortal sovereigns and devil sovereigns had fallen in this Land of Destruction. As for immortal emperors and half-step immortal sovereigns, there are countless of them. The Land of Destruction is indeed terrifying. Even immortals would feel their scalps go numb. When Lin Fei arrived with his men, he knew how terrifying it was with one glance from afar. This was one of the top 3 forbidden lands he had seen. Outside the Land of Destruction, an opening gradually appeared. Whoosh, 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 the black destruction wind blew out. The immortals closest to it didn't have time to scream before they turned into white bones. Within 10,000 li, there were only white bones. Reckless fools. Who doesn't know how terrifying the destruction wind is? How dare they stand within 10,000 li? 10,000 li away in a central area, a sinister middle-aged man sneered. "It's best if all of them die. That way, they won't die in there and embarrass themselves. Brother Hua Tian, the Land of Destruction is about to open. You look so calm. Do you have the confidence to suppress the destruction beast?" Not far away, there was another group of people. The leader was a middle-aged man in green clothes. He had an arrogant expression as he spoke indifferently. Immortal Emperor Hua Tian was one of the elders of the Tuyun Great World's Purgatory Earth Palace. This time he was the leader of the group. Brother Shou, of course I have confidence. Don't tell me your 1,000 machines sect doesn't? Immortal Emperor Hua Tian sneered. Of course our 1,000 machines sect has full confidence. When the time comes, we'll see who's more powerful. Immortal Emperor Zhou, an elder of the 1,000 Machines sect, said indifferently. 1,000 Machines sect and Purgatory Earth Palace were both large sects of the Tuyun Great World. Both were enemies. The Tuyun Great World was overseen by the Realm Lord. Usually there would only be small fights, but not extermination. The loss of any one of these large sects would have a huge impact on the Tuyun Great World. The Realm Lord would not allow that. Roar, roar, roar at this moment. The roars of beasts resounded through the air. Everyone's expressions changed. Between heaven and earth, 8 immortal Lord-level golden flood dragons rode on clouds and pulled a golden carriage towards the land of destruction. It was a sea of gold. The King of Darkness is here. Even Immortal Emperor Hua Tian and Immortal Emperor Zhou, who had been bickering, stopped. One of the 3 disciples of the Realm Lord had finally arrived. Master, those 8 golden serpents are all ancient species. If we eat them, our strength will definitely increase greatly. Heavenly Mouse, Golden Beetle, and the other battle generals all rubbed their palms together. Stay here. No one is allowed to attack without my permission. Lin Fei was really worried that they would act recklessly, so he added, We'll talk about this when the time comes. Lin Fei was not afraid of anything. Even if the Tuyun Great World was overseen by the Realm Lord, Lin Fei would not be afraid. Lin Fei was indeed very interested in the 8 ancient golden flood dragons. Hairball, you are not allowed to attack either. Lin Fei gave Furball another warning before turning his attention back to the situation on the battlefield. The carriage finally stopped in the middle of the crowd. The 8 ancient golden flood dragons' auras soared into the sky. Their sharp eyes made people not dare to look at them. Apart from the Realm Lord's disciples, no one in the Tuyun Great World would dare to use these ancient beasts to pull a carriage. Greetings, King of Darkness. Greetings, King of Darkness. One by one, the big shots of the sects came up to greet him. The Realm Lord had accepted a total of 3 disciples, the Light King, the Darkness King, and the Destruction King. They were known as the 3 Great Emissaries. At the same time, all 3 of them were heaven-defying immortal emperors. The King of Darkness' arrival at the land of destruction was a huge matter. The curtains of the carriage were drawn up, and a young man could be vaguely seen sitting inside. On both sides of the carriage, there was a beautiful fairy pouring tea and water. Chapter 1254. Along with the voice, a black vertical eye appeared between heaven and earth. The black vertical eye was boundless at first, then it turned into a huge black mountain. In the middle of the mountain, there was a vertical eye. Misery, resentment, love, and hate, the 7 emotions and 6 desires, all gathered together. Not good, this is the demon eye. Everyone, don't look. The demonic highness is here. The older generation was greatly alarmed, revealing fear. Not far away, an immortal emperor, handsome and confident, had an abnormal expression on his face. Fairy, don't go, don't go. Immortal King Fu Tian, today I will perish together with you. Another immortal emperor lost his cool. More and more immortals were coming. These immortals charged towards the demonic eye, and a ball of black fire ignited on their bodies, instantly turning them into ashes. In the blink of an eye, thousands of immortals had fallen to the black flames. King of Darkness, the people of your world are too weak. This young master has helped you clean them up. Don't thank this young master too much, ha ha ha. On Demon Eye Mountain, the black-robed young man looked down from above. Young Master M.O., your strength has grown. Do you want to fight 300 rounds with me?" The King of Darkness didn't move as he coldly spoke. 300 rounds. This young master is very willing. The two of them stared at each other from a distance. Master, that young noble demonic is rumored to be the disciple of a certain realm lord. The mount he's riding on is the demonic eye. It's rumored to be an ancient mutated beast that contains the 7 emotions and 6 desires. If an immortal were to look at it, they would definitely die. This subordinate feels that the golden flood dragon is more delicious. When I look at the demonic eye, it looks like the meat is very hard. It doesn't feel chewy at all. Lin Fei was sweating. Were all ancient xenogeneics that greedy? Little did they know that Lin Fei was not a good person himself. Ever since he saw the golden flood dragon and the demonic eye, he had been thinking about them. The Realm Lord's disciples really don't need to rely on a big tree to enjoy the shade. Even their mounts are so awesome. Lin Fei thought, however, compared to my pet hairball, it's still too far off. Lin Fei was in no hurry. The disciples of these 2 world overlords were clearly extraordinary and extremely terrifying. How can we, the immortals of ice and fire, miss out on such a good deal? 2 streaks of light, one red and one green, flew over, one cold, the other hot. The ice and fire immortals undersoared Immortal by D. The appearance of these 2 people caused another uproar. In order to destroy the ferocious beasts, the disciples of the 3 world overlords came one after another. Immortals of ice and fire, weren't you too in seclusion? Why are you still thinking of coming out? Rumor has it that you too stumbled in a lesser world. I wonder if that's true? The demonic prince sneered. Demonic Highness, can I take this as a provocation? Shui Bing laughed coldly. The sword sheath behind her trembled as she stared straight at young noble Missouri. The King of Darkness didn't like young noble demonic. That fellow was a heaven-defying devil emperor of the devil race world and was extremely arrogant. The King of Darkness admitted that he was arrogant, but the other party was even more arrogant than him. This made him feel even more annoyed. He couldn't wait for the ice and fire immortals to fight. It would be best if both of them were heavily injured and he could kill them all at once. Even though everyone here was the disciple of the World Overlord and the World Overlord was from the same faction, the World Overlords were all from the same faction. The World Overlord Master of the Darkness King and the World Overlord Master of Young Noble Devil were not on the same mountain peak. Hence, every time they met, they would clash. The Realm Lord also silently allowed this. The matters of the younger generation were naturally sparring between the younger generation. Of course, it was impossible for him to kill her. The Realm Lord would never do that. Ha ha ha! The disciple of Sword Immortal by D. I have long wanted to spar with you. Legend has it that Sword Immortal by D is unparalleled in the world. It's just that he has lived longer than me. One day, I will definitely pay him a visit and learn from him. Young Noble Missouri said arrogantly. The ice and fire immortals were defeated in a small world previously and had to use their immortal talismans. Initially, Zhang Xian had intended to find Lin Fei for vengeance and wipe out the entire Holy Sky Academy. However, it just so happened that he heard about the destruction, ferocious beast. As such, he decided to put it aside. The destruction, ferocious beast was more important than killing Lin Fei. Last time, they lost their emperor's divine weapon and suffered great losses. If they could get their hands on the destruction bead, they could exchange it for an astronomical number of true spirits to make up for their losses. Big words. When we get to the land of destruction, we will definitely let you have a taste of our power. Shui Bing's killing intent was cold. She had already made up her mind to kill the young noble Missouri. With the disciples of the 3 realm lords present, the rest of the sect elders did not dare to interrupt. The realm lord was someone they did not dare to offend. I didn't expect them to come. Lin Fei's eyes darted around as he thought to himself, looks like they have recovered from their injuries and are going to take revenge on me. I might as well choose another day. Today will do. I'll kill the two of them. Last time, Lin Fei had wanted to get rid of them. However, he was not strong enough, and they used their immortal talismans to escape. Lin Fei believed that they would not be able to escape this time. Those expensive immortal talismans might not exist anymore. Even if they did, with his strength he could still kill them. Whoosh! A strong gust of wind blew in the land of destruction. For some reason, the wind stopped spreading after traveling for thousands of li. At this time, the land of destruction was really open. The land of destruction is finally open. Rumor has it that in 500 years, the wind of destruction will be at its most stable, without the chaos of the past. Everyone, charge! The people present could no longer hold it in. The land of destruction not only had the destruction beast, but also some holy grass and medicine. If they could gather one or two of them, they would also be valuable. Whoosh, whoosh! Someone was faster than them. The immortals of ice and fire were the first to charge in. King of Darkness, this young master is going. The huge demonic mountain crashed into dozens of immortal kings and immortal emperors, smashing them into pieces. After laughing loudly, they entered the land of destruction. Damned young master demon, I will kill you sooner or later. King of Darkness cursed and urged his mount to charge in with a group of Jingguang. As for those who suffered, no one dared to say anything. They were the disciples of the Realm Lord. They had the right to die, or they could only swallow their anger. Let's go. After half of the people had left, Lin Fei led them in. The moment they entered the land of destruction, a black wind blew. The immortals put on their immortal armors to resist the wind of destruction, but there were still some who were blown away by the wind of destruction, leaving only white bones. The ground below the land of destruction was filled with white bones. Master, can we eat them? The ancient mutant warriors, hatched by the insect queen, all showed fierce expressions as they faced the immortals, who were struggling to resist the wind of destruction. Do you want to die? Wait until we go in before you act. It's best if you don't get discovered. To become a warrior, one needed to devour immortals and immortal beasts. Lin Fei had known all of this a long time ago. Lin Fei had no pity in his heart. In this world, strength was the only guarantee. Ancient warriors needed to devour and kill, so he naturally wouldn't stop them. In a place like the land of destruction, with a terrifying existence like the wind of destruction, it didn't matter if some people died. Even if someone suspected something without evidence, no one would say anything. They could only say that they were unlucky. Master, this is great. These immortals have rich blood qi. They are great nourishment. Because Lin Fei and the others had monstrous physical bodies, they quickly put some distance between themselves and the others. When there was no one nearby, they let the 9 warriors out. Chapter 1255. I hope it won't cause too much trouble. After letting them leave, Lin Fei shook his head. At their current realm, if they wanted to improve, it would definitely take a few thousand years or even longer. There were very few ancient beasts that could become immortal emperors, and their cultivation time was also extremely long. Using the insect queen to hatch them would increase their potential. They could continuously devour flesh and absorb energy, speeding up their cultivation time. Once ancient beasts became immortal emperors, they could instantly kill those of the same level. This was a path that Lin Fei could not stop. Whoosh, 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 the destructive wind was said to be stable, but it was still extremely dangerous. It's been 500 years, and I heard that there was only 1 month where it was stable. This stable destructive wind is also terrifying. In the destructive wind, the few of them flew forward. This is much better. Normally, when the destructive wind blows, you will be left with bones. Someone at the side said seriously. Everyone look carefully. Don't miss anything. These people had all formed groups, and they were specifically here to search for sacred medicines and some treasures. At this time, a figure flew past them. Damn, that person is not wearing immortal armor. He's just using his physical body. The guy who complained earlier widened his eyes. He really isn't wearing it. Who is he? He's not afraid of the destructive wind. The others also noticed it. They all knew how terrifying the destructive wind was. If anyone dared to travel with their physical body, they would be left with a skeleton in no time, adding another part of the land of destruction. This person was naturally Lin Fei. This destructive wind is really powerful, not inferior to the wind source astral wind at all. Lin Fei thought as he flew. The wind source astral wind's sword, river divine ability, was now a terrifying divine ability. When the river swept over, even immortal emperors would be severely injured or even killed. Not long later, a long river lay in front of Lin Fei. This long river was turbulent, waves rolling up and down. When Lin Fei arrived, many people stopped by the river, not daring to barge over. This long river stretched from east to west, with no end in sight. If it was wide, it would be about 10,000 zhang. For an immortal, they could fly over with a thought. At this time, they all stood still. This river is too strange. Just now, Haiqing Immortal Emperor was swallowed by a sea monster halfway through his flight. With this river here, it won't be easy for everyone to cross. Most of them were immortal emperors and immortal kings. That's easy. Another figure tore through the air, and with a grab, more than 10 celestial kings were caught and thrown into the river. The great river surged. The immortal kings struggled to sink down, producing bloody bubbles. That person moved through the air, rushing past everyone's faces just like that. The river monsters on the great river didn't take action again. Everyone's eyes lit up. Good idea. These immortal emperors and half-step immortal emperors didn't hold back as they threw people in. Other than a few unlucky ones, the rest of them rushed in. Kid, get over there. A huge hand swept across the sky, and a sharp voice rang out. It turned out that a ferocious-looking fellow had somehow set his eyes on Lin Fei and wanted to throw him inside to feed the monsters inside so that he could break through. Lin Fei saw that the great river wasn't ordinary, and he was thinking. Suddenly interrupted, he didn't even look, and with a grab, he pushed the other party away, rushed in front of the other party, and grabbed his neck. You've got guts. Hua, Lin Fei casually threw the person into the great river. Kid, you're courting death. The immortal emperor was shocked. He couldn't accept being thrown into the river by a junior. In the next second, fear spread and he soared into the sky. Below, a big mouth opened and swallowed the other party in one gulp. What abundant lifeblood! Lin Fei's eyes lit up. This river monster not only had a lot of lifeblood, but it also gave a lot of experience. Before everyone could react, Lin Fei took a step forward, appeared above the great river, and fell into the great river. Is that kid crazy? Why did he go down by himself? He was in the river. The destructive force blew over, and it hit Lin Fei's body, but it was all bounced off. Who, a 300-meter-long fish with teeth that gleamed with cold light, opened its mouth, which was like a bottomless pit, and bit down on Lin Fei's legs. Damn, even a fish is so bold. Lin Fei was furious. He punched the weird fish's head, and its huge head exploded. Immediately, another weird fish rushed out, opening its mouth to bite. Good fellow, not simple. This bite would give even celestial emperors a headache. That weird fish was quickly dismembered. At this moment, there are more than 100 weird fish charging over. Kill. Lin Fei slashed with his sword, and blood spurted out, and a corpse floated up. Thick lifeblood, good stuff. The heaven and earth furnace flew out, collecting the weird fish. These were all good stuff. Destruction beasts shouldn't be so easy to deal with. Let me refine more of them. Lin Fei himself was overpowered. The monsters beneath the river were all in trouble. These weird fish, over the years, absorbed the destructive force and became violent and violent. Their strong bodies would be bitten off, turning into white bones in the blink of an eye. Lin Fei's chaotic body was at large success, and his entire body was terrifyingly tough. The monsters beneath the river couldn't break through his defense. At the start, Lin Fei used his sword to kill them, but later on he took out the heaven and earth furnace and sucked them in, refining them on the spot. A large amount of experience points rose rapidly. Lin Fei was just farming monsters. His speed was really quick. No matter what kind of monster came, Lin Fei sucked them in. These monsters and weird fish came one after another, making Lin Fei so happy that he didn't know what was going on. Only when the place he passed by was empty was he satisfied. Good fellow, I actually collected so many God power pills. The heaven and earth furnace was huge. God power pills piled up like a mountain. Beside the God power pills, Lin Fei was shocked to find black pills. These pills were one by one, and this was something that hadn't been seen before. Lin Fei took one out and sliced his palm with the power of a wind blade. This power, isn't this destructive power? Lin Fei's mouth was agape. He cultivated the destructive power from the weird fish. This was the first time that Lin Fei had come across such a thing. A moment later, he regained his composure and understood what was going on. That should be the case. That weird fish monster must have absorbed a large amount of destructive energy. That's why it was extracted by the heaven and earth smelt. This destructive energy might be able to help me cultivate a terrifying mystic skill, right? Lin Fei didn't hesitate and took out all the black pills. Keep. With the experience of refining the wind source astral wind, this time, there wasn't much trouble. Lin Fei easily cultivated the new skill. A black river that looked like a black ribbon appeared in Lin Fei's hand. This was a river formed from Lin Fei's destructive power, and it contained a terrifying destructive power. That's right. If any immortal emperor has these two divine abilities, their strength will increase greatly. With the river covering his body, there were no longer any obstacles in the land of destruction. I am just too smart. He was just testing it out. Lin Fei didn't expect it to work. A few 100 million miles later, there were fewer and fewer people appearing. The wind of destruction became chaotic and wasn't as calm as before. Lin Fei didn't think much of it. He headed deeper and wasted some time. Someone must have met a destructive beast, right? After all, in the land of destruction, apart from sage herbs, there were also destructive beasts. Not long later, an energy wave spread out from the void ahead. In the land of destruction, there were very few who could be as fast as Lin Fei. When he was close, Hairball started shouting. Lin Fei saw a golden shadow moving and recognized it immediately. Wasn't that King of Darkness's ride? No wonder Hairball was so excited. Hua, 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 the waves continued to spread out. Not a single person could be seen within the perimeter. Young noble demon, you are shameless. King of Darkness's voice could be heard. Then, young noble demon's voice could be heard. He who is shameless. The destructive beasts are terrifying. It is normal for you to die here. Ha ha ha. Very quickly, all sorts of voices could be heard. Lin Fei laughed. The disciples of the three sects are plotting against each other. No wonder they can't get along. Lin Fei wasn't in a hurry to enter. The disciples of the three sects were very powerful. Of course, Lin Fei wasn't afraid of them. The destructive beasts were very important to him. It would be best if he could take it away without anyone noticing. Sword Immortal by Dee's disciples were there too. Lin Fei had long wanted to deal with them. It would be best if they didn't find him. Got it. Deep in, the disciples of the three sects, along with hundreds of immortal emperors, were attacking a huge beast. Waves of destructive wind covered the sky and shot towards the hundreds of immortal emperors. Logically, when hundreds of immortal emperors work together, they should be able to suppress everything. But here it was extremely taxing for them, and they could only restrain the destructive beast. King of Darkness, we have underestimated the destructive beast's strength. It is so strong in the second step. Purgatory Earth Palace's immortal emperor, Hua Tian, blocked a wave of destructive wind. Its destructive wind is too strong and endless. Our immortal force is being consumed too quickly. If this drags on, we won't be able to hold on. Thousand Machines Sex, Zhou Buwei said. King of Darkness had already gotten off the carriage. His fists were covered with Emperor Divine weapon gloves. His fists broke through the air and blocked the destructive wind. Useless things. You can't even deal with a Step 2 realm ancient beast. King of Darkness's face was gloomy. The ancient beast was too strong. More importantly, the destructive wind was many times stronger. Many of the hundreds of immortal emperors were already bleeding and suffering heavy injuries. Looking at the destructive beast, its body was 100,000 feet long. It coiled on the ground and opened its mouth to release destructive wind. Their attacks couldn't land on it at all. King of Darkness, I asked for a sex lord treasure specially used to suppress the destructive beast. Why didn't you take it out? Young Master Emil laughed. Are you afraid that I will snatch it? Chapter 1256. Hoo, the beast's huge body bobbed up and down as black, destructive winds blew out from the abyss. A second-step beast was able to fight against hundreds of immortal emperors, including 3 heaven-defying immortal emperors, and it wasn't at a disadvantage. At this rate, it would be difficult to kill the beast. Shio, the destructive winds formed a black river that crashed into the hundreds of immortal emperors, causing them to spit out blood and their attacks to stop momentarily. The other immortal emperors weren't having a good time either. Young, noble, demonic, everyone has seen how strong the beast is. Without using treasures, don't even think about killing it. King of Darkness punched out. If this drags on, it won't be good for anyone. Barging into this region, the wind was like knives, and with their immortal armors, it was tough for them to block it. Young Noble Demonic predicted that King of Darkness would speak up and said proudly, You are the disciple of the Realm Lord, just use your treasures. Why do you need my help to suppress the beast? I don't have that ability. King of Darkness was extremely unhappy. If young Noble Demonic wasn't here, he could use his treasures because no one would dare to snatch it from him. But young Noble Demonic was different. This fellow was born bad, and there was nothing he wouldn't do. If he took out his treasures, he might be robbed. Set up the formation and delay young Noble Demonic. King of Darkness gritted his teeth and decided to take action. A few more immortal emperors were heavily injured, and time waited for no one. Ice and fire immortals, if you don't interfere, I will owe you a person. King of Darkness transmitted again. With his identity, they would definitely give him face. As long as they didn't interfere, no matter how arrogant young Noble Demonic was, he would still suffer today. Should we attack? Schwebing asked. I heard that King of Darkness and young Noble Demonic aren't on good terms. The rumors are true, and the beast is indeed an ancient mutated beast with incredible strength at the second step. It seems like King of Darkness wants to use treasures to suppress it. It is good that they owe us a favor. Shuehu thought about it and said. The two of them retreated from the battlefield and revolved their sword intents to defend against the destructive winds. King of Darkness heaved a sigh of relief. Hua, hundreds of immortal emperors formed a huge array and trapped Mr. Demonic within it. Young Master Devil, don't blame me if you don't give me face. After I suppress the beast, I will find you and have a good spar. The King of Darkness rushed towards the beast and punched out. Phew! The King of Darkness took out an ancient black stone bowl. As soon as the stone bowl appeared, a terrifying aura covered the entire region. The black light shot towards the destruction beast, and a large area of the destruction wind was pierced through. Roar, 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 roar. In the blink of an eye, the destruction fierce beast was covered in blood, its huge body a bloody mess. Under the terrifying black light, the destruction ferocious beast's injuries worsened. It could no longer recover its flesh and dispel the black light from the bowl. Young Noble Devil was surrounded and attacked by over 100 immortal emperors, but he was still as calm as the wind. As expected, the Realm Lord bestowed a treasure to you, allowing you to easily suppress the destructive beasts. King of Darkness had used up a lot of his immortal energy in order to activate the stone bowl. However, he was extremely happy that he managed to suppress the beast. Young Master Amo, I'm sorry. The beast belongs to me now. As long as he continued to deplete the life force of the beast, his strength would be greatly affected. You have to use all your strength to activate the treasure of the Realm Lord. I wonder how much strength you have left. Young Noble Devil laughed and disappeared. A black pearl appeared in midair, emitting a destructive aura. The expressions of the 100 immortal emperors changed. Not good. This is the Pearl of Destruction. Hurry up and leave. They couldn't leave in time. A destructive power burst out from the black pearl and spread out like a wave. The formation formed by over 100 celestial emperors was knocked away. This terrifying power continued to spread. Bastard! King of Darkness couldn't care less. He was a heaven-defying immortal emperor, and he didn't dare to face the Pearl of Destruction head-on. He placed the stone bowl on top of his head and gave up on attacking the beast. Hua hua hua, hua hua hua. The black power was mercilessly wreaking havoc. Time seemed to have passed. In reality, everything happened in the blink of an eye. Outside, everything quietened down. Young Noble Devil suddenly appeared amidst the chaotic destruction wind. 1 pearl of destruction to get a beast. It's not a bad deal. Young Noble Devil had already predicted that King of Darkness would target him. He purposely acted weak to trick him. Beast of Destruction, this young noble is here. The Beast of Destruction, due to its huge body, had long lost the ability to fly. It could only stay in the ground. The stone bowl and the Pearl of Destruction were so powerful that the Beast of Destruction would definitely be heavily injured. Looking in the direction of the Beast of Destruction, young Noble Devil frowned and exclaimed, "Where is the Beast of Destruction? Is it dead?" At the place where the Beast of Destruction was, there was only a bottomless pit. The beast was gone. According to his calculations, this shouldn't be the result. Ha ha ha, young Noble Devil, it seems like there are times when you get schemed against. King of Darkness laughed coldly at young Noble Devil. Being schemed against, he was naturally unhappy. Young Noble Devil was cruel and used the Pearl of Destruction. Now that the Beast of Destruction was gone, if he didn't mock him, he wouldn't be the King of Darkness. It belongs to this young noble. No one can take it away. Shio, young Noble Devil dashed through the sky. Until now, young Noble Devil still couldn't believe that someone could withstand the destructive power of the Pearl of Destruction. Even he had to use treasures to hide. After being schemed against by young Noble Devil, I was schemed against by someone who stole the Beast of Destruction right under my nose. I sure want to see who that person is. Plus, the Beast of Destruction is huge. I can't take it away. That kid won't be able to get far. King of Darkness chased after him. The Annihilation Bead in the Annihilation Beast's body was too valuable. Unlucky. So unlucky. Ice and Fire Immortals were affected. Though they weren't heavily injured, they weren't feeling good either. Young Noble Devil is unscrupulous. He even dared to use the Pearl of Destruction. Shui was said coldly, "Let's go." To be able to steal the Beast of Destruction right under our nose, he isn't weak. There's no need for us to join in the fun. We can't go. Shui Bing nodded. Let's find a place to heal. After we recover, we'll go find Lin Fei. There's no need for the two of you to go. I, Lin Fei, am already here. Lin Fei walked out of the crater unhurriedly. So you're the one who stole the Beast of Destruction. The two exchanged glances and immediately understood what was going on. The powerful enemy in their eyes was Lin Fei, the genius from the small world. Unacceptable. Die. After killing you, the Beast of Destruction will be ours. After suffering a loss, the two unsheathed their swords. Sword chi surged, and their minds were connected. For the first time they attacked. 2 sword rivers, one left and one right, swept over. Same old trick. Boring. Lin Fei shook his head in disappointment. He pounced towards the 2 sword rivers. His left and right palms slapped at the sword rivers. The sword rivers rippled and split into pieces. In the blink of an eye, he was already before them. Bang, bang. Chapter 1257. All the attacks were too fast. A casual sword intent attack from the ice and fire immortals was not something an ordinary immortal emperor could block. After witnessing Lin Fei's terrifying divine power last time, they joined forces right from the start, attacking from afar, not giving the other a chance to attack. The most perfect combination was to injure Lin Fei's body. Regrettably, they had underestimated Lin Fei's speed of growth. The sword intent river split apart. Lin Fei rushed up and slapped with 2 palms, hitting their chests from afar. The 2 were sent flying tens of millions of li, smashing into a barren hill. We couldn't even block 1 palm. The 2 thought that they had lost because they underestimated Lin Fei last time. This time they were confident and had simulated it in private. If they met Lin Fei again, the one who lost would definitely be Lin Fei. There would not be a second result. The current situation was no less than another slap to their arrogant faces. How can he be so strong? My body is still shaking. Even the immortal armor cannot block the recoil of power. The 2's expressions changed. They could not accept this result. You too, not bad, right? Lin Fei's voice followed. 2 more palms came. A torrent of divine power slammed into the 2. Crack, crack. The immortal armor was covered in cracks. How can your strength rise so quickly? Xuehu pointed at Lin Fei and said shakily. Why not? Lin Fei strode over and said, Do you think I will sit here and wait for the 2 of you to kill me? Let's go. The 2 knew that they were not Lin Fei's match. The situation was disadvantageous to them. Even though they were very unwilling, they also knew the gap between them. Their strength was like that of a child in front of Lin Fei. It was best to go back and find their senior brothers to fight. Swoosh, swoosh, the sword intent was easily dispelled by Lin Fei. I will kill you today. No one will be able to leave. With the true self-apocalypse sword in hand, terrifying divine power poured into it. He slashed out, leaving a ripple in the void that swept past the 2. The current Lin Fei was terrifyingly powerful. This was especially so after his divine power broke through to the primordial divine power. His divine power contained the primordial divine power, which was the most terrifying destructive power. Coupled with the invincible sword art's blood splatter, he was no longer at the same level as before. If you didn't come to die, I wouldn't have been able to find you. This is your fate. The immortals of ice and fire were not as lucky as last time. They encountered Lin Fei, whose strength had greatly improved. They died in less than a few rounds. This sword strike was more than 10 times stronger than the previous one. For parts of the corpse, fresh blood dripped down. Lin Fei charged forward and snatched the 2 storage rings. He believed that the disciples of the 2 sword immortals would definitely have a bountiful harvest. The fury of sword immortal by D? Lin Fei didn't really care. Kill them all. Lin Fei turned around and left. Not long after, 2 silhouettes rushed back. We've been fooled. The King of Darkness and the demonic prince returned at the same time. However, the 2 of them did not look happy. They had painstakingly schemed against each other, but in the end, someone beat them to it. The immortals of ice and fire are gone. Suddenly, young noble demonic flew in a direction. King of Darkness's expression changed again as he followed closely. The corpses of the immortals of ice and fire appeared in front of him. Their eyes were wide open as they died with grievances. What a domineering sword strike! Even the immortal armor couldn't block it. This is really troublesome. Young noble demonic frowned. Sword immortal by D's disciple died here. King of Darkness looked up and down and realized that trouble was coming. The immortals of ice and fire were dead, just like that. The surrounding battle aura was not obvious, and it happened in a short period of time. Indeed, we are in big trouble. The death of Sword Immortal by D's disciple in Tuyun Great World was definitely a huge matter. The first to bear the brunt of it was the Realm Lord who would face the wrath of Sword Immortal by D. King of Darkness, we suffered a huge loss this time. No one got the upper hand. I will remember the mastermind. One day I will find him. Young noble demonic turned around and left. Sword Immortal by D's disciple was dead. Young noble demonic did not want to provoke Sword Immortal by D, who had insane combat power. King of Darkness's face fell. It's all this guy's fault. Otherwise, how could this happen? We have to seal the exit and not let that guy out. I finally got it. So when the destruction bead exploded with destructive power, Lin Fei used his primal chaos body and true self body to take the risk and collect the destruction beast. Then he hid in the crater and misled them. After choosing a safe place, Lin Fei stopped. Within the heaven and earth smelt. The gigantic body of the destruction beast was a mess of flesh and blood. It was torn from top to bottom, revealing its bones. Lin Fei did not hesitate. He turned the destruction beast into a huge egg and waited for it to hatch. I killed the immortals of ice and fire. Someone will definitely be angry. I have to leave the land of destruction immediately. The 9 generals hunted immortal emperors and even immortal emperors in the land of destruction. With the 9 of them working together, along with the ancient beasts and the primal chaos armor, they were invincible. Gradually, there was a group of people who were hunting down immortal emperors and immortal emperors in the land of destruction. Everyone was shocked by the news. Why was there such a group of people in the land of destruction? When Lin Fei saw Tianshu and the others, he was shocked. In a short time, their auras had grown a lot stronger. After asking, he found out that many immortal kings and above had fallen at their hands. It was hard to see any lone cultivators anymore. You guys! Lin Fei shook his head slightly, but he had to admit that devouring powerful existences could increase their strength. This speed, other than their physique, was due to their terrifying cultivation method. According to them, even a first-step immortal emperor and a first-step demon emperor were no match for them when the 9 of them worked together. They were instantly killed. After keeping them in the heaven and earth smelt, Lin Fei rushed to the land of destruction. In a space filled with sword intent, tens of thousands of immortal swords danced in the air. Each immortal sword was of supreme grade. They emitted boundless sword intent as they flew around a sword-shaped mountain. On this day, a sword intent flew out from the sword-shaped mountain. Xue Hua and Xue Bing are dead. Order the human sword team to investigate. If they find anything, kill without mercy. The sword intent dissipated. Lin Fei didn't stop along the way. The wind of destruction that he came with had mostly disappeared. Some people were even collecting them. Lin Fei even saw some fighting over sage herbs. As for lone cultivators, he didn't see them. They were all in teams. Lin Fei couldn't help but admire the deterrence of a battle general. How many people had they killed? It must be an astronomical number. Continuing on his way, the exit of the land of destruction was far away. Why haven't these people gone out? As they neared the exit, Lin Fei suddenly frowned. There were many people gathered at the exit, and there was a commotion from time to time. So fast! Lin Fei's heart sank. He was glad that he had kept the battle general. Otherwise, he would be suspected if he said anything. Fellow Daoist, what's going on in front? Are they not letting us out? Lin Fei asked a middle-aged man in front of him. The middle-aged man was an immortal emperor. He looked back and saw a young man. He whispered, "Don't you know?" Something big happened inside. Lin Fei feigned ignorance. What happened? I've been at the periphery recently. I heard that a group of murderous maniacs appeared inside. The middle-aged immortal emperor purposely showed off, that's right. I heard that the ice and fire immortals under sword immortal white emperor were killed. Realm Lord Tu Yin was furious and sealed the exit. Now, everyone who goes out will be investigated. Moreover, the sword immortal team under sword immortal white emperor is here. They killed many immortal emperors and a few immortal emperors. Ah, Lin Fei regretted not keeping the corpses. Now, even the Realm Lord was involved. What sword immortal team was there? Outside the land of destruction. It was filled with an oppressive aura. In the sky, 8 golden flood dragons were pulling the carriage. King of Darkness stood motionlessly on the carriage. He was shocked by sword immortal white emperor's attitude. He had mobilized the sword immortal team. The sword immortal team had a great reputation. Their purpose was simple. They specialized in cleaning up the matters of the sect. For example, traitors, those who attacked White Emperor's disciples. The outside world liked to call them the punishment team. No one who was targeted by the punishment team would survive. It was said that this time they had mobilized a 5-man punishment team. King of Darkness didn't dare to look down on such a team. It better not be done by people from our world. Otherwise, it will be troublesome. King of Darkness thought. He didn't get the destruction beast. At the exit, a sword gate stood tall. Those who came out had to be checked by the sword immortal White Emperor before they could leave. Hearing that it was sword immortal White Emperor's punishment team, no one dared to go against them even if they were unwilling. Back then, the punishment team once chased after a 4th-step immortal emperor for 100 years. In the end, they killed that 4th-step immortal emperor in a great world. From then on, no one dared to underestimate the punishment team. It was said that even the world overlords of that great world lowered their heads, not wanting to attract trouble. They were very impressed. Who was so daring to kill the ice and fire immortals? During this time, there were people who were unwilling to be checked. The sword immortals of the punishment team didn't stand on ceremony and killed them. Many corpses lay on the ground, especially some immortal emperors. They wanted face and didn't think that the punishment team would dare to kill them. But in the end, they were all killed on the spot. Next, at the exit, there were sword immortal disciples standing. Their sword chi was so strong that no one dared to look at them directly. Not far from the sword gate, there were 5 or 6 sword immortal disciples surrounding a young man in a brocade robe. Leader, will he run away? The young man in the brocade robe was like an immortal sword. He hadn't even unsheathed his sword. He won't. A very cold voice. Chapter 1258. Sword immortal Bai's men are so domineering. That's right. That celestial emperor just showed some reluctance and was killed on the spot. That was a celestial emperor. Everyone better behave. Sword immortal Bai is the number 1 sword immortal. Who dares to offend them? It's just a check. They won't lose anything. I won't come here again. Everyone in the land of destruction was talking among themselves. They were extremely wary and fearful of sword immortal Bai's men. Through the exit, they could clearly see that those who weren't convinced were killed on the spot. Everyone was furious, but didn't dare to say anything. King of Darkness and Realm Lord's disciple were there personally, giving face to sword immortal Bai's disciples. But to someone, this wasn't good news. Sword immortal Bai's men are really domineering. Lin Fei observed for a long time and realized that they were going to find him. Kill my way out? Lin Fei was wary of the sword immortal's door outside. He heard that it was a tracking treasure used by the punishment team. When there were fewer and fewer people, they would find out sooner or later. How to get out of this place had become a big problem. Should he start a massacre? Sword immortal Bai's disciple and Realm Lord Tu Yun's disciple were outside. If he went out and started a massacre, he would be hunted down unless he could kill them all. He had even snatched the destruction beast. Lin Fei wasn't willing to expose himself. There were fewer and fewer people in the land of destruction. Lin Fei had already left the exit of the land of destruction and returned to the depths. The destruction beast was about to be hatched. Things were different now. Hatching an ancient beast didn't take as long as in the past. Boom, 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 within the heaven and earth furnace. 9 generals gathered. In the face of the giant black egg, the 9 generals all felt a great deal of pressure. If it weren't for Lin Fei, they would have fled immediately. Ancient mutated beasts like the destruction dire beasts were stronger than them, and their bloodlines were also noble. Beams of light shot out. In just a moment, the black egg was riddled with holes. A black wind blew past, and the egg broke into pieces. It's out. What a terrifying aura! A mountain-like black shadow walked out, and gusts of black wind surrounded him. Exploding destruction greets Master. That mountain-like shadow, with its imposing aura, knelt on one knee in front of Lin Fei. What a terrifying aura, even stronger than these generals! Lin Fei sensed that the other 9 generals were trembling from the depths of their souls. Get up! The black wind dissipated, revealing his true appearance. He was a muscular, bald man with demonic runes all over his body. He looked sinister and terrifying. Thank you, Master, for allowing me to take human form. Explosion Destruction's voice was cold, and a cold light flickered in his huge pupils. Shockingly, the destructive wind was spinning. From now on, you are their boss. Lin Fei was in a good mood. Now that violent destruction had successfully transformed into a human form, he was much stronger than he had imagined. Master, we're not convinced. If you want to be our boss, you must defeat us. Yi Kong, Husi, and the others disagreed. Ever since they hatched, they had human intelligence and were very competitive in front of their master, Lin Fei. All of them wanted to be the top general. Now, Explosion Destruction had appeared. Although his aura was strong, their aggressive nature made them unwilling to give up the position of the top general, so they proposed to fight with Explosion Destruction. Lin Fei frowned. This was the first time he had encountered such a situation. After thinking about it, he agreed. All of you attack together. Explosion Destruction, don't kill them. Explosion Destruction's eyes were cold. Attack together. Attack! Yi Kong was an ancient giant crocodile. He directly returned to his original body, and his huge body turned into a black light that collided with Explosion Destruction. With this move, he shattered a first step Immortal Emperor on the spot. A long black rod appeared in Explosion Destruction's hand. It was actually formed by the destructive wind. He smashed the rod on Yi Kong's body, knocking him to the ground. Then he charged at the 8 generals. Block it, block it. Lin Fei was shocked by Explosion Destruction's strength. Previously, the destruction ferocious beasts could only rely on the destructive wind to form a forbidden land to prevent outsiders from entering. In the end, their combat strength was not particularly strong. After hatching, Explosion Destruction's strength was unfathomable. With the black rod in his hand, he danced up and down with great strength. When he hit the generals, they cried out in pain. Not long after the 9 generals joined forces, they were completely defeated. Be it in their original bodies or in their transformed forms, they were no match for Explosion Destruction. I'm convinced. We're convinced. When Lin Fei asked them, the hot-tempered Yi Kong and the others all expressed their admiration. They were all ancient mutants with strong defense and attack power. Facing Explosion Destruction, they were no match for him even if they joined forces. They suffered a crushing defeat. In the future, Explosion Destruction, you will be the top general. The top general was out. Lin Fei took advantage of this opportunity to rearrange the ranking of the generals so that they would not fight again in the future. From the 2nd general to the 12th general, he arranged them all. The 1st general, Explosion Destruction. The 2nd general, Yi Kong. The 3rd general, Broken Axe. The 3 of them were the strongest, and the rest were basically at the same level. Naturally, the Snake Demon and Long Tian were at the bottom. Is he really gone? The land of destruction was still sealed. It had been 2 years. The treasure hunters had basically all come out. But the killer of the ice and fire immortals did not appear. Some said they left. Some said they were still in the land of destruction. All kinds of gossip were spreading. Everyone in the Tuyun great world wanted to know who did such a big thing. They did not have the guts to offend several major forces at once, until the last person, the punishment team, still did not find the killer. Captain, it seems like there is no one inside. The young man in embroidered clothes looked at the land of destruction. The culprit is really patient, enduring until now. I can guarantee that he is still inside, watching, waiting for us to leave. Should we kill our way in? The young man in embroidered clothes said, "No rush. We cannot lose anyone in the punishment team. That guy is hiding inside. Naturally, there will be people who will fight for us." The King of Darkness had always been there. 2 years passed in the blink of an eye. The killer had not been found, and the King of Darkness was not in a good mood. The realm lord had left him here to help the other party. Search the land of destruction? I suspect that the person is still inside. Since we do not have many people, we can only trouble the King of Darkness. As long as that guy appears, he will not be able to escape. The young man in embroidered clothes said, "Small matter. I will arrange it immediately." The King of Darkness was disdainful, but he still had things to do. He summoned his subordinates and gave a few orders. Not long after, a team of 1,000 people appeared outside the land of destruction. This was the King of Darkness' own force. They were all immortal kings, and the leader was an immortal emperor. Search the land of destruction from top to bottom. Chapter 1259. 1,000-man team. Close-style search. This action caused quite a stir. Sword Immortal Baidi's punishment team really wanted to find the culprit behind the scenes, and the King of Darkness took the initiative to cooperate. This was unprecedented. Many forces sent spies to check from afar. Close-style search. Deep in the land of destruction. Lin Fei received this news immediately. 1,000-man team, aren't they just cannon fodder? Lin Fei really looked down on this 1,000-man team. The real powerful ones were the punishment team. If they took the initiative to come in, it would be easy to catch them all. "Master, let me go and destroy them." Ikong, the second general, took the initiative to volunteer. This fellow's killing intent was already very heavy. "They dare to encircle us. It's only right to destroy them." The third general also said, "The 3 of you go." Lin Fei had a certain advantage. After all, no one knew who he was. If they wanted to find him, they had to pay the price. Not here. Not here either. 1,000-man team, a carpet search. Everyone kept their distance and moved forward carefully. After the destruction beast disappeared, the destruction wind also gradually dissipated. These immortal kings could only search carefully. Suddenly, 3 figures appeared in front of them, as fast as lightning rushing over. "Who are you?" another immortal king shouted. The 3 black figures did not react. In a few breaths, they rushed in front of them and sent an immortal king flying with a palm. After landing on the ground, they were already dead. "Enemy attack! Enemy attack!" The 3 black figures were not afraid of the attack. Their fists whistled, and no one could stop them. Someone attacked. The King of Darkness received the news immediately. When ordering them to search, the King of Darkness had ordered them to inform him immediately if there was any news. "My people were ambushed inside. 3 people. I don't know if they are the people you want." The King of Darkness told the news to the young man in embroidered clothes. "Thank you." The young man waved his hand. "Let's go in." The news so quickly surprised the young man in embroidered clothes. He felt strange. Were there 3 people? The entire punishment team, except for 2 people, went in. "Young master, are we going in?" The King of Darkness also wanted to know who did it. Perhaps the destruction beast was with the other party. When they arrived at the place, the desiccated corpses of 1,000 people were strewn all over the place. It was a ghastly sight. The King of Darkness furrowed his brows, but he quickly recovered. A trace of anger flashed in his eyes. How dare you kill my men? Although a 1,000-man team wasn't much, it was still under the King of Darkness' control. Now that all of them had been killed, it was akin to slapping his own face. The King of Darkness, who originally didn't want to interfere, was now filled with resentment. Young master, I heard that there's a group of people in the land of destruction. They're very strong, and they specialize in attacking experts. They even killed a few first-step immortal emperors and first-step demon emperors. The King of Darkness was surprised. There's such a thing. Yes, it should be true. These celestial kings have lost all of their essence. It was indeed done by them. If it's them, the punishment team has probably met their match. An immortal emperor was powerful, but he was besieged and fell. No one would underestimate the strength of this team. Let's go up. Captain, that person killed 2 junior brothers. He's still in the land of destruction. It's a pity that he doesn't know that we have the Gate of Sword Immortals. A sword immortal gate was released and turned into a stream of light, heading straight for the depths of the land of destruction. The entire punishment team revealed angry expressions. The young man in embroidered clothes wasn't surprised. Get ready. No matter who the other party is, kill without mercy. Speaking of which, Bao Extermination and the others killed 1,000 people and returned to their original spot. Master, those guys can't even withstand a single blow. It's really boring to kill them. Crocodile Space licked the corner of his mouth. It's not as exciting as killing immortal emperors. Broken Axe Battle General followed. They were all ancient mutated beasts. The attacks of immortal kings and immortal emperors couldn't even break through their defenses. It was a one-sided battle. Suddenly, Lin Fei's expression changed slightly. The experts are here. Everyone get ready. The 10 generals didn't change at all. Instead, they revealed fighting spirit. I like this. I can already smell their auras. These generals were all ancient mutated beasts. They could all sense the terrifying auras. Lin Fei ordered them to cover their faces. It wasn't suitable to reveal their true faces at this time. At the same time, he knew that he had underestimated the punishment team. Swoosh, a sharp aura tore through the air. An immortal sword flew out of the void. Without anyone controlling it, it slashed at Lin Fei, bringing with it a stream of light. Bao Extermination tore through the air. The black iron rod violently hit the immortal sword, causing the void to shake. With such power, the immortal sword wasn't damaged and blocked Bao Extermination's attack. Bang, bang, bang. After a series of attacks, the immortal sword was smashed away. Bao Extermination's eyes revealed a serious look. Even immortal emperors didn't dare to take his power head-on. It was really rare for an immortal sword to be able to take continuous attacks without being damaged. This made Bao Extermination very unhappy. Wait, the 10 of you set up the formation. Before they arrived, Lin Fei realized how terrifying the punishment team was. That immortal sword was extraordinary. It was indeed from Sword Immortal by these people. The young man in embroidered clothes arrived with his men. He saw 10 people covered in black masks. These people all gave off a fierce aura like ancient beasts. Did you kill Xue Bing and Xue Hua? The young man's gaze landed on the person in the middle. Do you believe me when I say that I didn't? You dare to kill Sword Immortal by these people. You are really bold. Unfortunately, bold people are destined to die. Kill them, the young man said arrogantly. Hua hua hua. The team members behind the young man got into formation. A black immortal sword appeared out of nowhere and slashed towards where Lin Fei was. Formation. Bao Extermination revealed a strong fighting spirit. The The 10 generals got into formation for the first time. The main attacker was Bao Extermination. With a black iron rod in hand, he charged into the sky and slashed towards the black immortal sword. The two powers clashed, and a terrifying shockwave spread out in all directions. The moment they clashed, both sides knew that the other's formation wasn't simple. Bao Extermination raised the black iron rod and attacked the black immortal sword. Rod after rod, the void shook as it smashed onto the black immortal sword. This was the first battle. Bao Extermination couldn't afford to fail. He definitely couldn't embarrass his master. Fortunately, they had trained for the past 2 years. This formation could be used with a thought. Moreover, they all had chaos battle armor. Their defense was very strong, and they weren't afraid of the recoil at all. Once they started fighting, Bao Extermination was the main attacker. Were they stronger, or were they stronger as ancient beasts? On the other side, the punishment team had always had a smooth journey killing people. Once their name was mentioned, everyone sucked in a cold breath. They would lose 30 to 40% of their battle power. When they clashed just now, they felt immense pressure. A formation formed by 10 people was strong enough to fight them. This was unprecedented. In the sky above the land of destruction, the black iron rod and black immortal sword exchanged blows. They seemed to be fighting intensely. However, if one looked closely, the punishment team was on the defensive. As the leader of the group, the young man had chased and killed many experts. There was no lack of immortal emperors among them. Seeing someone fight the formation head-on and not be at a disadvantage, he was shocked. No wonder you are so bold to dare to kill Shuebing and Shuahua. You do have some ability, the young man said. You have the right to know my name. Remember it, Kong Cheong. Hua Kong Cheong moved. The immortal sword that was blasted away flew back and landed in her hand. She slashed, and the sound of waves came. It was clear and pleasing to the ears as it pressed towards the masked man. Lin Fei wasn't worried about Bao Extermination's side. If there was no Bao Extermination, the formation's power would be limited. However, with Bao Extermination, it was enough to fight the punishment team. He was shocked at how strong the punishment team was. Those fellows were all first step immortal emperors. There were a total of 21st step immortal emperors. After setting up the formation, their strength would increase by several levels. No wonder everyone was wary of them. Looking at Lin Fei's side, besides Bao Extermination, the other generals were all different in strength. Let's get rid of this fellow first. A black iron rod appeared in Lin Fei's hand. It was formed by the wind of destruction. He swung it at the boundless ocean and used brute force to break everything. As for using the black iron rod, it was to conceal his identity. The rod smashed into the ocean. The tough power was held back by the gentle power. The ferocious ocean became gentle. This was clearly a combination of tough and gentle power. The ocean shook and a powerful force was reflected back. The iron rod was about to fly out of his hand. You only know how to use brute force. You will only be defeated by me. Kong Cheong laughed. After probing, she knew that the other party was a brute. She heaved a sigh of relief. At the very least, he wasn't an amazing beauty. Kill! Lin Fei purposely shouted. Brute force can still kill you. Hoo, the sound of the wind could be heard. Many black shadows smashed over, covering the sky. When the black shadows hit the waves would explode. Then they would recover and explode away. The combination of tough and gentle was displayed vividly in Kong Cheong's hands. In the distance, the King of Darkness was here too. When he saw the battle, he frowned once more. There was actually someone who could fight on par with the punishment team. Young Master, the formation of those 10 is really strong, especially that burly man. He attacked Mengda fiercely, and the punishment team was suppressing him. They couldn't gain any advantage at all. The King of Darkness naturally saw the formation of those 10. The chaotic combination of the formation was so strong that even the King of Darkness didn't think that he could block it. This was the first time the King of Darkness had seen something like this. I've never heard of an expert using a rod. The King of Darkness pondered. Why, that black rod gives off a familiar aura. That's right. That's the wind of destruction. Could it be related to the destruction beast? The King of Darkness couldn't think of an answer. His gaze turned and landed on Kong Cheong and the masked man. I've really seen a ghost today. Kong Cheong's sword technique is already a combination of tough and gentle. The might of a single sword can heavily injure a third-step immortal emperor. That brat's brute force is actually able to neutralize all of it. This was the first time the King of Darkness had seen such a ferocious force that could disregard any sword technique. Kong Cheong's sword technique couldn't gain any advantage at all. Chapter 1260. King of Darkness, who had been chasing, was secretly shocked. Even King of Darkness himself did not dare to underestimate the punishment team under Sword Immortal by D. Now, 2 rod users had appeared, and they could actually fight against them. This was really rare. "Young master, should we go and help?" asked a subordinate. King of Darkness understood his subordinate's intention. If they helped now, they could definitely suppress the other party and do them a favor, alleviating the matter of ice and fire mortals dying in the Tuyun Great World. No need to help. You don't understand. King of Darkness naturally would not interfere. Any sword immortal was arrogant and would not allow others to help them. If King of Darkness acted rashly, he would not be able to get a favor. Instead, he would be hated. He had already decided to watch from the sidelines while searching his memories to find out where these 2 rod users had come from. In the void, Explosion Destruction's attacks became fiercer. Rod after rod smashed onto the black sword, forcing the punishment team to take the attacks head-on. The rebounding force made their faces pale, and their immortal power was constantly being depleted. Damn it, this guy is too strong. The Sword Immortals and Immortal Emperors were all shocked like never before. Someone's formation could contend against them. Secret killer move. The leader knew that they could not take it head-on. Their people could not withstand the waves of attacks. As time went on, they would be the first to collapse. Ordinary sword might could not do anything to them. The Black Immortal Sword's aura rose again. Whoosh, the Black Immortal Sword slashed forward, and a black light swept across the sky towards the black metal rod. Secret art dissipate. This sword slashed forward, and space-time and space became chaotic. Explosion Destruction's rod smashed forward, and space-time slowed down, clamping down on the rod, preventing it from moving forward and suppressing the attack. A black light swept over, blocking the formation. Damn it, such a powerful secret art. Luckily, Master led us where the chaos armor. The terrifying sword strike crushed everyone's body, leaving a white line on the chaos armor. Explosion Destruction snorted. See that? We almost died. What will Master think of us? He thinks we are useless. We have to eliminate these guys. Angry. They were all ancient mutated beasts, and that sword had almost taken their lives. The ancient mutated beasts were angry. You deserve to die. Extermination was thoroughly enraged. His black rod turned into a sky full of shadows. The chaotic time-space and space collapsed as he charged out. Secret technique, destruction. This time, explosive destruction used all the power of the formation. Between heaven and earth, there was only an enormous black rod left. It smashed towards their heads, smashing into the black immortal sword. The destructive wind seized the opportunity to blow over. They actually blocked our secret technique. The leader of the group was shocked. He activated his black immortal sword to avoid this powerful strike. Clang, clang, clang. With this strike, sparks flew on the black immortal swords, and the black immortal swords they controlled were sent flying. Blind fool, eat another stick. Exploding destruction appeared out of thin air and smashed the black immortal sword with a staff again. Uffed! The sword immortal of the punishment team couldn't help but spit out a mouthful of blood. The power of the recoil finally injured them. Again. Who? Brutal destruction was the strongest, and he was an expert in rod techniques. Rod after rod smashed down, taking advantage of their weakness and not giving them a chance to catch their breath. Leader, we can't hold on any longer. After more than 100 strikes, they were in a bad situation. They were forced into a desperate situation, and their lives were in danger. We can't hold on any longer. Kong Cheong was shocked. He looked over and saw that his punishment team was in a desperate situation. How long had it been? They were already defeated, if not for the support of the formation, who knew how many people would have died. Who? A whistling sound rang in his ears. It's better to worry about yourself. Kong Cheong blocked with his long sword and retreated. The sword will in front of him shattered. His expression was solemn. Who are you? You don't have the right to know. Lin Fei charged up again, attacking fiercely like explosive destruction. Kong Cheong's heart was in turmoil. He thought, I, Sword Immortal by Dee's disciple, the leader of the punishment team, can't do anything to a small fry. What a joke. Even my subordinates are in danger. This guy's ferocious strength is endless. He's not easy to deal with. I have to use my treasure. Kong Cheong suddenly put away the immortal sword, and an immortal talisman appeared in her hand. She sneered, You are very, very strong, but you killed the disciple of Sword Immortal by Dee. No matter how strong you are, you will still die here today. This immortal talisman has a trace of Master's sword intent sealed in it. You will definitely die. Hua, Kong Cheong tore open the seal of the talisman. The sky darkened, and a black sword will broke through the seal. The moment the black sword will appeared, a terrifying and sharp aura engulfed the entire land of destruction. King of Darkness, who was watching from afar, shouted. He quickly retreated, and an immortal armor appeared on his body. Bastard, he used the talisman. Sword Immortal by Dee's sword will. That kid is dead. No one can withstand a trace of Sword Immortal by Dee's sword will. Bang, 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 the black sword will surged over like a wave. Lin Fei's expression suddenly turned solemn. Sword Immortal by Dee's disciple was indeed not simple. He used a treasure like the talisman. Kong Cheong knew his own strength. The masked man's strength was ferocious. He could destroy anything with his strength. It was unprecedented. Even if Kong Cheong used a secret technique, she might not be able to kill him. Thus, she used the talisman. A trace of Sword Immortal Patriarch's sword will. You're dead. Kong Cheong said proudly. This is the result of going against us. Sword Immortal Patriarch's sword will could kill anyone he wanted. The black sword will rippled. The hair-like sword will shot over. What a strong sword will. It's filled with killing intent. No wonder they say that sword immortals are filled with killing intent. The hair-like sword will was blocked by a layer of energy. Even so, it caused his blood and chi to be in chaos. After all, this was Sword Immortal by Dee's sword will. You want to kill me with just a trace of sword will. Lin Fei picked up the black iron rod. With himself as the center, it turned into a huge black storm. In the end, it became a black whirlpool that swept towards the opponent. The hair-like sword will fell into it. An ancient divine power surged out like a flood. How arrogant! How dare you fight against my sword will? Let's see how you die. Kong Cheong was very confident. Back then, a third-step demon emperor was killed with one sword. She was not afraid of this guy in front of her. Hua! 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 The black whirlpool swept over. There was only the black whirlpool left in the world. Swoosh! The black sword will broke the black whirlpool and slashed at the person in the center. One sword of reincarnation. In the black whirlpool, Lin Fei used the black rod to use the second move of the invincible sword technique. The strongest defensive move. The black sword will rushed into the whirlpool, and the ancient divine power was shattered. The ancient divine power behind it surged up again and again, obliterating the opponent's sword will. What a condensed sword will! It contains endless killing intent. With the sword will in front of him, Lin Fei felt like he was facing a killing field. The killing field alone could make people collapse. Break, break, break. The black reincarnation whirlpool rushed up, and the ancient divine power opened a path to destroy the sword will. Now it should be dead.